Hello and welcome to the Video Game Dads podcast. This is episode 50. 50.
Whoa.
Yeah, halfway to 100. The Video Game Dads podcast where three guys in a basement talk gaming, fatherhood, and everything in between. We are your hosts. I am Ben.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah, so we try weekly. Summers happen, so we apologize. I know some people, we love to hear that. So maybe some of you aren't waiting for a new one, but we have been off schedule. We did so great, and as soon as I start patting ourselves on the back by saying we did okay, we've fallen a little bit off. But again, we plan to be on our every 3-week schedule as best we can. Thank you guys for the feedback on the last episode Shane and I did. Yep. It was kind of a little more off the cuff, but here's a regular rootin' tootin' episode, especially for our big number 50. Sorry, Michael could not be here. Unfortunately, he had a couple sick kiddos that he had to attend to, and we all kind of had that recently. Unfortunately, his just happened to be right now. Ours were, I think, all like within the last week or two.
Yeah, the funk is going around.
Yeah, it's starting already.
I just got over mine, man. I didn't have a voice like 2 days ago.
Really?
And the kids were even worse off 5 days ago. So they passed it to me.
It just starts to come, and it just started to get cold. But anyway, we are family friendly, so feel free to listen with your animals, kids, petting zoo. What else could be around you that make believe friends, real friends, whatever. No cussing, but not any promises. There won't be any adult content. So if they're old enough to know what we're talking about, they're probably old enough to should know to be okay with whatever we're talking about.
Yeah, we get real smutty here.
Not at all. Don't turn it off. Anyway, thanks so much. And we will get caught up on all the emails. Sorry, last time since we didn't, we have a lot of those to get caught up on. iTunes reviews as well. Some of the things that we're going to talk about are there's some news about this PS5, right?
PS5.
Yeah.
PS5?
They're making another one?
Yeah. And what they just announced the name. And do you know what it's going to be? PS5.
PS5.
Okay.
Okay.
PS Vita.
So we'll talk a little bit about that. Talk about what, of course, we've been doing. Talk about pickups. Of course, our patent pending. Yeah, patent pending is fine. Handheld holla, and our most popular segment, Video Game Book Club, is back again.
Back, baby.
With a vengeance. And we're also going to talk about some other things kind of coming up. New console, that Amico, and then also kind of the vibe of collector reunion mood, things like that. I thought we'd talk kind of abstract about the things coming up, how video games affect us in our lives, and probably our attitudes towards them. As new things kind of come out, we have a new console wave about to hit, and then we have some other things that kind of pop up that are kind of nice little, kind of refreshing things, kind of like new accessories, smaller consoles, things like that, and like kind of what we can do to kind of embrace these things, especially before they come out. Before we kind of put the cart before the horse and make a judgment call on it, that kind of thing. And then also we'll end up talking about a kind of special, since it's our 50th episode. We're gonna bring up a different segment. It's only probably going to be for this one, but we'll see how well it plays. And we were kind of brainstorming about what's something we could talk about that's been different. We don't have to do reflection stuff, kumbaya, and all this other stuff, which is great and nice, and we almost do it all the time anyway. For this 50th episode, we are going to give each other a punishment. For the 50th episode, we can't get too high on ourselves because it's only downhill from here.
Downhill, baby.
We are going to give all of each other an assignment of a game we must play before our next episode, and we have to play it. We can't be messing around here. We have to have video.
Have to really play it.
Yeah, really play it. Video evidence. We're gonna have to send each other little video phones of us in front of the console, smiling at each other, and we're gonna pick a game for the other person to play. You could be cruel, or you could just be like, "Hey, this is something I've been mentioning." Like we were saying to Adam, I've always said, "Play that new Wolfenstein." Play that new Wolfenstein. 2 years later, he finally did. But man, if he didn't, I would have picked that. But yeah, a game that we're gonna kind of force you to play, almost like a forced video game book club, game. Waterboarding club. Shoot. Dang it, we got dark.
I think that's what we should call it, the Video Game Waterboarding Club. I like it.
And
patent pending.
The birth of a name.
That's right. It'll be like that scene from A Clockwork Orange where his eyes are just pulled open.
Yeah. So again, it's like, oh, poor us. We are forcing each other to play a video game. But we're actually gonna have to do this and see, and it'd be fun to play, and since Michael's not here, we're still going to pick some games for him. We're going to pick double duty now just to kind of punish him. But anyway, those are some of the things that we will be talking about. Where can you email us, Adam?
VideoGameDads@yahoo.com.
And our Facebook, Shane?
Facebook.com/VideoGameDads.
Yeah, and you can kind of tweet us or whatever. Just look us up on the Googles or leave us a review on the iTunes. We love that too. But send us an email. email is the best way to get a hold of us, and we usually will just kind of reply to you on here. So sorry if it takes a little while for us to reply back because we've been busy, guys.
Crazy
Busy.
man.
Yeah,
It has been bananas.
Let's get this out of the way. Shane, you almost you turned yourself into Swiss cheese.
Yes.
Like literally, you showed us a picture and about threw up at my desk. You have been a stay-at-home dad, and now you have started up a business of stay-at-home dad to working on home dad.
Yeah. Staying at home, still sort of staying at home, running the kids around to their normal school and everything, but then also on weekends working and start my own business. So gutter cleaning and roof repair and all that. So pretty much handyman, pretty much
everything in between. Oh, you should put that on your card. Yeah, and then of course
that'd be pretty good.
Yep, and we get 2%. But can we talk about the injury?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I was up on a ladder and I was working on the roof and had to put a little sideboard on the siding and because it was rotted out, and I had some toe boards set up on the roof. And
toe boards, gotta love the toe boards, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Let's keep nodding our head like we know what that is. Is that when you like on tow truck? I don't know.
So toe boards pretty much goes underneath the shingle, so then you can get up a steep roof. So you set it up there. It's a little jack up underneath it.
Okay.
So I was working my way up there. I was getting ready to. Well, I had my ladder set up on a deck that hasn't been power washed for about 15 years and didn't really pay attention to that. Had a bucket of paint because had to do some touch-up paint. Ladder slipped out from underneath me, so then I hit the jack off my chest, and then I fall down the roof, and there's a gutter spike sticking out about 2 inches. I guess I grabbed it and then hit my wrist. It went really deep and fell right on my back. And then the paint splashed everywhere, but I kept it upright though, so that was really good.
Oh, good. The paint stayed up.
Yeah, the paint stayed up. So I just laid there for about a minute.
You almost turned into Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
But the paint stayed up.
Yeah, paint stayed up. So I laid there for about a minute. Homeowner came out. She's like, "Oh my God." I'm like, just give me a minute. I'm all right. Just give me a minute. So got up and ripped off the sleeves. I actually had Video Game Dad's podcast shirt on. I had to cut the sleeves off of it and then use it to wrap my hand.
And you kept working?
Yep.
God, I would just.
I ran a bid after that too.
Good.
That's
so you ran a bid, and you probably like gave them the bid paperwork with blood dripping on it, right? And they're like, "Oh shoot, this guy means business."
Hire this guy, yeah.
Yeah, or we better
you
call
want
the
something
cops.
to sign this with blood.
Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. So I looked at it, and it's like you. I guess okay. So everybody listen to the podcast, especially if you're driving. Look down at your hands, and then like basically where your thumb connects to your wrist is my way of putting it. Right where your thumb connects to your wrist. Imagine just having a hole there.
Yeah.
That's what you have.
It's healing up pretty nice though, so it's been really good. I've been keeping it out of stuff and keeping it clean, and not too clean, you know. So
a lot of ligaments and things in there, like hands. Any place where like things come together. That's why like when you hurt your hand, it hurts because there's no place for inflammation to go. And like there's so many things in there.
Well, that's the thing about getting
like an eyeball.
I was thinking about getting stitches, but then it was like, I think I'll just pop the stitches the whole time. Like I'll be too confident because it's all stitched up, and I'll just pop them out every time. So I didn't end up getting stitches, and I'm pretty sure I need. You think I need stitches?
Well, you did.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He's seen it. Not anymore.
That time has passed.
He's seen it the day of.
Oh.
Yeah, my wife sent him a picture of it, and was like, "Here, look at this." And so, yeah.
Yeah. No, you.
He got the brunt of it.
You could have gotten some stitches, but you're
that.
right. You would have had to been more tender with it, I guess, if there weren't stitches. But the whole, like, I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice manly injury, which you have a few of those already.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some good ones there. It's like Jaws. It's like, look at my scar. We're gonna start comparing scars right now, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, we can.
Look at my foot.
I got a splinter probably 3 weeks ago.
Paper cut.
Yeah, paper cuts.
Paper
oh my
cuts
God.
hurt, man.
Yeah, I've had like probably 20 of those in my lifetime. So
no, hand injuries really hurt though. I played high school football back in the day.
What position? What position you play?
I played. So where I went to high school, we had 19 people playing 11-man football. So I played just about every position at one time or another. Offense, defense, special teams. My senior year, like I probably was not in on 2 plays the whole season.
Weird. Oh my God.
But
it makes my back hurt.
But like during my senior year, I don't know, second or third game, something like that, I got my hand crushed between 2 people's helmets.
Oh yeah.
And it broke the bone in my hand, kind of in the middle of my palm.
Oh man!
And I remember I had this real hardcore coach, like old school, you know. And I went over to him and I said, Coach Wood, I broke my hand. I broke a bone in my hand. And the bone is like sticking up, tinting the skin on the back of my hand, and it's all puffed up and swollen and everything. And he says it hurts so bad.
I bet.
And he says your hand's not broken. If it was broke, it would hurt.
It hurts.
So I literally just wrapped it back up and played the rest of the game. And it didn't really, it's one of those things where it doesn't hurt when you're still moving it around and like, doing stuff. So I got a knee pad and I taped the knee pad around the hand, and then I played with that hand for the rest of the game.
That's smart.
And then later that night, hands all purple and swollen up, and man, I've never had anything hurt that bad. Yeah, it really hurt.
Gosh, I bet.
Man. Yeah, dude, I had like at football, same thing. I did like a stiff arm, and his helmet like slashed down on my finger, and I had the skin. It was just like peeled back like all the way. It was just on my pinky. It was just disgusting. So I just had to pull it off and then keep playing.
Pull off your pinky.
The hands are funny like that though, because like the thing that still makes me queasy, if I ever see it or anything like that, is a dislocated finger or toe.
Yeah.
I can see all kinds of horrible stuff. Doesn't bother me at all. You get an appendage like going the wrong direction or something like that. Looks
so weird.
It's just like, but yeah, I remember our quarterback, he got his hand stuck in somebody's jersey and dislocated his ring finger on his non-throwing hand. And, they get off of him in the pile or whatever. And then he just looks at his finger and it's all bent over backwards and he just starts screaming.
Oh, man.
And, but my wife dislocated her toe not long ago. I don't think I've ever told you this. It was like last year.
I didn't know you could even dislocate. I knew you could break those.
Yeah,
suckers,
well, we were over at a friend's house and she... like at a dinner party.
Playing kickball?
No, we were just at a party. And my wife comes down the stairs. So they had they got a 2 or 3 level house or whatever. So
she's had a few or?
No. She just, we had just gotten there. And so she's walking down these stairs and she comes over to me and kind of quiet, kind of tugs on my sleeve. And she goes, I think I broke my toe. and she's wearing like open toe shoes, like sandals or something. And I look down and her second to the last toe on her right foot is like sideways.
Oh.
And I went, oh no. And again, I'm like,
yeah.
So wait, how did she end up? It got caught?
No, she just stubbed it. She stubbed it on the corner of the step when she was coming down or whatever on the side of the railing or whatever. And yeah, totally just dislocated it.
That makes sense.
So then we just had to set her toe, and my wife is the toughest person alive. I was like, do you want me to take you down to like urgent care or whatever?
Yeah.
She's like, no, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
She just acted like nothing happened.
That's crazy.
Just set her toe and kept going.
I dislocated my ring finger on my left hand when I was in 8th grade. Wasn't football. I slipped in the shower. And I landed straight down on my finger, and then it was the from here to here, right? So whatever the knuckle before you get to your hand, that dislocated. So my finger always just kind of like turns in, and I remember I was like I said it was fighting for a girl's honor or whatever. And I remember because I ended up because my mom was kind of ingenious. She took a plastic fork and took 2 plastic forks and broke off the top and just used the plastic on the top and the bottom and wrapped it. With white tape, and I mean, she made a splint.
That's some ghetto ingenuity right there.
It worked perfectly fine. I kind of felt it was kind of like, even though it sucked, it hurt or whatever. Actually, it was my right hand, so I'm left-handed, so it worked out. But I remember that was the first time I kind of had like an injury, and it was the first time you do wear these kind of war wounds. I shouldn't say that. That's not war. I'm pathetic. You know what I mean. Like, I felt a little bit like, hey. I took a hit and I'm still here.
All right, one more finger injury story.
Yeah.
So one of my best friends growing up, back in high school,
make every podcast person throw up.
Yeah, exactly. So
we don't normally talk about this. We talk about video games.
We used to go over to his grandparents' house on Sundays because his grandma made like really good food. So we would go over there on Sunday afternoons and eat lunch, or whatever. And there were these nice old couple and everything else, but his grandpa was missing his ring finger on his left hand. And I never really knew why, and so I knew him for 2 or 3 years or whatever. And then finally I asked him, like, what happened to your finger? Where's it at? And because he was missing it like from the first knuckle down.
Okay,
so it was gone. And the story is that when he married his wife, they had no money. He was an old farmer, and they had no money, so they couldn't afford a ring. Mm-hmm. And then after they'd been married a few years, sold a few cows or whatever else, his wife was finally like, I'm tired of you not wearing a ring. You need to go get a ring. So he went to town, bought himself a ring, and then
let's see if I
a week or two later, he was loading up cattle on the back of a trailer, and he jumps off the back of the trailer, and he came off the trailer, but his finger stayed up on it because his ring had snagged on this gate. And so I always had kind of wondered, like every time he kind of like jokingly, wanted to get onto it, like disagree with his wife or anything, and she told him to do something or whatever, he would always kind of shake his hand at her. He was showing her the finger that she took from him.
That's awesome.
By making him wear that ring, it happened like 50 years before, but I always thought that was a really funny story after I knew it.
Why do we have so many like broken hand finger ring stories? Because while you were talking, and you just said that's our last one, I'm pulling a Columbo. This is legitimately another one, real quick. Everybody's like, seriously, we're not going to talk. We'll talk about video games eventually. Yeah, on our 50th Spectacular is just Broken Fingers podcast. We're the Broken Finger podcast.
The Broken Finger podcast.
Broken Finger podcast from
Call in with your broken fingers, everybody. Come
Montgomery, Alabama. Sorry, that's just I said that because that's from Forrest Gump, not because our Alabama listeners.
No offense, Alabama.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Roll Tide.
I also like your accent more than our Midwestern non-accent people. So, a friend of mine in high school, he's a big guy but gentle giant. Another hand story, and this one might be the saddest one. We'll end it with this one then. So he was meeting. He was one of those nice guys, but didn't have kind of a girlfriend until later. Not because anything was wrong, just because he's a quiet guy. Not everybody like dates all willy nilly, especially in high school. So he goes to college, and he's very like just nice guy, but like large guy, gentle giant kind of. And he has girlfriend. First girlfriend. He's meeting the family, right? And when I say meeting the family, he's meeting like the Brady Bunch. He's meeting everybody in the family, including the old grandma.
Oh, wow.
And so he's nervous as heck. And so, he meets this frail, like 96-year-old lady in a wheelchair, and he goes to shake her hand.
No.
And he's shaking her hand, and he feels a crunch. And of course she's so, I'm sure she's very nice, but so old, it's not this like, is this like, oh, noise comes out of her. And this is all from him telling us this story when we were drinking later, and we were all like enthralled, like you're telling us like the best story in the world. Just like, oh my God, this is like wide-eyed, like holy cow. And like, so he shook her hand and like probably broke her hand. He broke her hand, right? So he just kind of crunched it somehow because he was just so nervous. And he felt terrible throughout the whole dinner. Yeah. But I think like nobody knew except him at that point because he just felt so bad. So he was like deer in the headlights. And then finally somehow they found out. But like he felt terrible.
Oh my God.
And so I think either he didn't own up to it, right? Because of that night it was kind of just like, oh, her hand's not feeling that way. When I shook her hand, she kind of, it kind of felt like she was gingerly whatever. Like, I think he was just trying to say, like, it was injured and he realized it by shaking her hand or something. I don't know if he owned up to it. Maybe he never even told her. I hope they're not dating. Maybe if they're married, they're meant to be together. I don't know the rest of the story. Only that. And every time I think about that, I could just imagine that. Imagine like the nicest, gentlest man meeting his girlfriend's eldest, like, this lady is the reason he's dating this lady, because she started all these people came from her. She's the top of the freaking family tree, and he broke a branch.
Broke a little branch.
He just with his hand just crushed it. And the way he described it, it was like he felt like this crunch. She goes, oh, okay, I'm done. This podcast is terrible. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Get nice one number.
Yeah, that was great. What a great segue. Let's weatherman segue. What do you guys say? Should we move on to our video game book club?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right.
Lou Ferretti of Dunedin, Florida, is telling us about his skin problems.
Well, it's heat rash. It itches. It has little bubbles on it, little pimples, whatever you want to call it. The skin is red. It's irritated. And it's annoying. It's itchy. So the tendency is to rub it or try to eliminate the uncomfortable feeling that you have.
But Lou Ferretti got relief using Triple Action Gold Bond medicated powder.
Gold Bond made my skin feel cool, it refreshed it, and I feel very comfortable no matter where I go.
Gold Bond's Triple Action is like 3 great powders in one. It has the absorbing action of powder, the medicating action of a proven itch fighter, and the drying action of zinc oxide. That's Triple Action Gold Bond.
Gold Bond stops the itch. To me, there's nothing like it. Where I go, it goes.
Try Triple Action Gold Bond medicated powder.
Well, hey, yeah, thanks. Our video game book club brought to you by Gold Bond Medicated Powder.
Gold Bond, it's 50. It's about time.
Yeah, yeah. And so, gosh, we figured exactly. It's our 50th episode. We were reaching out for sponsors, and Gold Bond, right? Gold 50th anniversary.
50th anniversary.
It was just perfect, and we're so
like,
great. And hopefully,
your skin's gonna get dry and chafy, guys.
Yeah, hopefully, and it'll go where you go. Like Lou Ferretti just mentioned to you in that minute-long piece of gold itself. We're so happy to have him as a sponsor. It's great. I'm using it right now.
You're using it right now?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Yep. You can't see where I'm using it, but I am using it. Oh, boy. It's medicated.
Oh, boy.
You understand? Yeah. It's great. Gold Bond. It's going to be hard to beat that sponsor. So everybody else trying to
Good luck, everybody else.
Yeah. Good luck. Right enough. So anyway, our video game book club is a segment where each episode we pick a game that may be overlooked or misunderstood, most likely not in the top 15% of whatever system library we play, and then we will play it in between episodes and discuss it on the next episode. We encourage our listeners to submit suggestions for our video game book club and for us to discuss them. You don't have to stick with whatever console we're currently on, which is what, PS2, right? Yep. But you can do a handheld, whatever. Just put a little spiel about it, why you like that game, and while you're submitting it, and we will put it in our pool, our randomizer, our fun little bingo ball cage.
Bingo ball.
Yep, and we'll pick it out. We haven't been great about putting that on our YouTube. Sorry about that. But it is random. Trust me, we've been sticking to it. Maybe I'll upload them all together because I've got like 8 videos of us doing the ball cage thing and picking out your picks. And sometimes, like last time, it could be a pick that's picked very quickly. Or not. Wait, we already went through PS2. Am I saying we're not on PS2? We're on PS3.
Yeah, I think we're going to graduate for PS2 this episode.
Sorry. Yeah, no, we picked two listeners. It's been so while. Yeah. So sorry, we were off one.
Yep.
We do this, we pick it, and then we do a listener pick. But obviously, this last time we did 2 listener picks. So we'll move on from that after this. But tell us, what were our 2 games?
The first one is Samurai Western for the PS2.
You wanted to say Showdown.
I almost did. Yeah, well, I've been...
It's understood. I mean,
you see the Neo Geo so much, that stuff. And there's a new Samurai Showdown too that's actually quite good.
Oh.
But,
the PS4 one?
Yeah, the new PS4 one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this is Samurai Western.
Yeah, Samurai Western for PS2. And our other one, what was that there, Shane?
Dante's Inferno for PS3 or Xbox 360.
Yeah, or PSP we just found out.
Yeah, or PSP.
It can also be found in your classic literature sections.
True. It's a small book. You can read it while going to the bathroom.
Great bathroom novel.
Light reading.
Yeah.
Light reading.
So which one should we talk about first? What do you guys think?
Let's do the Samurai Western.
Samurai Western, since they're both our listener picks. Go ahead, Adam. What do you got about it?
So Samurai Western is a game that was published by Atlas, ATLUS, Atlas.
Yeah,
great
the
games.
publisher of all kinds of weird and odd and unusual games.
Expensive,
yeah, sometimes obscure. Developed by Acquire.
What is it? Do we know what Acquire's
I don't know what Acquire's done.
What they've acquired, I guess.
I don't know. I can look.
Yeah, you have to think, a lot of
they made Tenchu.
names. Tenchu.
That makes sense.
Way of the Samurai.
That we're just...
those are... Okay, so they got some pedigree there. Man, Tenchu.
Shinobido, whatever that is.
That makes sense now.
Yep.
Oh, Akiba's Trip, like those pervy PS3 games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rain.
Oh, Rain. Cool.
Yeah, let's see.
That the PS.
Octopath Traveler recently.
Okay, so they made some stuff.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
Acquire game. I never played Octopath. I heard it was okay. Good.
No, it is. Octopath's awesome. I like it. I mean, if you like
that kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're into that stuff.
If you're into that stuff.
I mean, if you like Final Fantasy VI, like Super Nintendo era RPGs.
Sure.
Classic Square stuff.
We were saying earlier Tenchu too. Shane and I played that back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Man. It's still one that's highly regarded. And it got crazy scores, but we were trying to say, because Adam, you were saying you didn't play it back in the day.
I mean, back in this day, I was solid N64, and the only other 32-bit or only 32-bit games I really played were either shooters or sports games, like arcadey sports games,
right?
Racing games, or I don't know. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I never
the stealthy of this.
Yeah, they're really stealthy
weird.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like even Metal Gear, I was not part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Tenchu was
awesome.
Yeah.
So it was like, for those who don't know, it was like a 3D samurai stealth game.
Yeah.
We played at night, and this was early polygonal, which you couldn't see far in the distance, but it was perfect because you worked in the shadows.
Yeah.
And it was before Splinter Cell, before Assassin's Creed. So unfortunately, if you went back
Before
and played
Hitman,
Tenchu,
yeah.
and you hear us talking about it, and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me go play. You're gonna be like, what were these old fricks talking about? Because it's not that great now, but at the time, nothing like it.
Yeah.
It was like, Metal Gear Solid was very tactical in this. This was like you're on a roof and you have to like samurai like assassinate somebody. But again, before Assassin's Creed, I feel like again, like Assassin's Creed is now a thing, and Splinter Cell and all these others, but like Tenchu, man, 1990, 96, 97.
They made a big deal when you killed one person. Like it was like blood splatter.
You worked so hard, like
worked
jumping
so hard
around.
To get it. Yep.
You felt like a ninja.
Yep,
You felt like even though Ninja Gaiden, you feel like an arcade ninja.
You felt really rewarded when you took that dude out.
Yeah, in Tenchu, you feel like afterward, you're like, I just
killed
the guy.
Yeah.
it was so cool. So let us know your thoughts. Send us emails about your Tenchu experience. Just kidding. They made 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
maybe more.
I didn't. I played the second one. I always liked the first one the best.
Oh yeah.
But then I played some game called Ninja. It was complete garbage. It's like purple and gold on the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't even really remember it, but it was garbage because I thought it was gonna be like Tenchu, and
it wasn't.
Definitely
no,
not.
Nothing's like it. Nothing's been like it since. But
Yeah.
I remember played the demo. It was on a demo disc. I played the demo over and over and over.
Yeah.
I loved the Tenchu. But anyway, we're not talking about Tenchu. Well, we were. Now we're talking about
Samurai Western.
Samurai Western.
So released in 2005. All territories in 2005.
Whoa, so pretty late in the PS2 game.
Yeah. that
So
would be-
it's a single player game. It's a multiplayer game. It's kind of an expensive game.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize it. So I've got a copy, and Benjamin tells me, "Oh yeah, like a complete copy is like $85." And I was like,
I was gonna buy it, and I was like,
"Holy moly!" Yeah, I didn't know. So my copy, fortunately, I leave my stickers on most of my games, so I can remember how much I over or underpaid.
Yep.
$2.14.
Not bad.
Got one.
Yeah.
Got one.
Not bad.
That's
Even
a
if
good
you
one.
added a 0 to that would have been fine.
Yeah.
Because like it's $80 game. It's gone up. It's really cool looking. And it's, samurai western.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because it really is what it says it is.
Yeah.
It's a western. It's like a western style game, with like guns and cowboys and corrals
But you don't have guns.
But you don't have a gun. You got a sword.
Yeah, sword.
You're a ninja versus cowboys.
Exactly. It's a ninja versus cowboys, and I don't really understand it because one of the mechanics is deflecting bullets with your blade.
Yeah.
Sitting them back. Yeah. Ricochets.
Yeah.
Because you're that good.
That dang good.
But it's basically like a 3D hack and slash.
Yep.
Where you're a samurai.
Yeah, kind of third person 3D.
Person,
which hack and slash third persons are kind of they're a little jarring, but it works. It works.
It is, yeah. And it is a little earlier. It's not new Devil May Cry or whatever. The camera is a little bit more primitive than that and everything else. And it does have some personality though. Probably the thing I like the most about this game, it's got kind of a visceral feel to it, like it should.
Yeah.
But the other one is just the way that the guy runs, which
that's
sounds stupid, but he has that. Where his head ducks forward and kind of bends over, and it's sort of that quiet but really fast walk.
Yeah,
like
it's
you
almost
expect a samurai
it's almost
to
like
do.
a Naruto run. If you've seen that, that's been popular on the TV.
Yeah,
the nerds like to do it, like to run in front of the newscasters.
And he holds his samurai blade behind him, he's supposed to. So it's got the total that's the way that's supposed to happen.
That's how I enter every room I walk in.
Exactly.
If you didn't realize,
especially when you're
That's how I enter the job site every day.
Yeah,
I just with your giant sword.
Oh crap! Shane's coming in at the end of the day. Ben's coming.
Oh
in.
boy, Shane's
I know,
here again.
Shane, put your sword away. Nobody thinks you're cool.
Dang it, guys! All right.
I know. So don't bring it. It's how you arrive at the bar mitzvah.
Yeah, a lot of Atlas games, at least when I think of Atlas games around this time, they're kind of like, you think of like RPGs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Essentially,
Yep.
but this is a little bit different because it's, it's actiony.
Mm-hmm.
It really is just a beat 'em up. So I don't know if you like things like Dynamite Cop, Die Hard Arcade. Mm-hmm. They're not quite the same as those, but
that's a hack and slash and beat 'em ups always get in.
It's if you think of like like a before God of War kind of. Even though this would have been, I guess, after maybe the original God of War.
Some of our listeners might know what God Hand is, and I got a lot of God Hand vibes from this. to the point where, if you don't have either of these games, I would still say like go for God Hand number 1 because it's half the price, and I think has a little more personality than this one. But that being said, if you are a fan of both those genres, a lot of people are. A lot of people like samurais, and a lot of people like Asian and Western themed things.
Yeah,
I could kind of take it or leave it. I think it's like anything else. It's a setting. It's kind of cool, but I've seen it all before. You kick the saloon door down. The guy plays on the player piano, and then so you punch some guy, and then a lady comes down and says, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like the Western stuff. I haven't played Red Dead 2 yet, so I can't talk. But I feel like it's all been trodden before. So I like the fact that you throw a samurai in here, and he's just like whipping the snot out of people with just his sword.
He's got to avenge his brother, man.
Yeah. So what'd you guys think about the music?
I mean, it's pretty good. It's averagey.
Yeah. I thought it was. I thought it fit the theme, which would be kind of difficult to do, and also the there are some things that at least unless I forgot about God Hand, because again I played this now because I was kind of prepping it for our last one, so I'm about a month old. Both these games over a month ago I played, so now I'm forgetting a lot about them because we didn't talk about them on our last episode. So these have been cooking for a while. There's some like light RPG elements to it, meaning like you can kind of like with your sword and with your motif and with your accessories and things like that.
Yeah, you could add little accessories to your guy and everything like that. So it's a little cool.
And not
adds a little touch to it.
Yeah, not a terribly long game. It's again like personality wise, because I've played God Hand before. Like if I lived in a world where I didn't play God Hand, I would think like, I'm going to track this down. I need to wait till it gets cheap enough. I definitely need to buy it. It's not one I necessarily feel this huge urge to add to my collection.
It's God Hand.
Capcom? Yeah, keep going. I don't know what other words you were about to say.
Careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah, careful. Got to put you in the corner. So God Hand is a Capcom game.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, so but you never know. I don't know. They could have had buildings right down the street from each other. Who knows? But I think, it doesn't age too well. But if you were to pick it up, especially for a PS2 game, let's think
it's
about the library.
It's a very PS2 looking game.
It's a PS2 looking game, but also let's think about the library here. This is actually a pretty cool game to come out of the PS2 library. PS2 library basically had everything under the sun.
Yeah, there's weird stuff in that library.
Yeah, but as far as like a bunch of unique games, they're all kind of trodden before, right? Like Katamari Damacy and things like that with the rolling ball and a lot of kind of kooky stuff. Mad Maestro. There's a lot of weird games to that, but a lot of them are weird for the sake of weird. And this one's actually, good and weird, right? It's kind of one note. There's it's hard for me to recommend it for $85, right? So it's kind of this middle ground of like, I understand
like an
why
early
it was
2000s thing though. Like I don't know if you guys remember like Jackie Chan, Shanghai Noon.
Yeah.
Oh, then that Will Smith movie too.
But I mean, there was like this mix of like
You're right.
Japanese, kung fu or samurai.
You're right, at
with
the
cowboy
time.
stuff. Like it was kind of a thing.
You're right. It was. That's probably why this
sort of a thing, because like Aliens versus Cowboys, that was a thing. That was a movie.
Yeah, like there was this.
Like, this is a thing.
Yeah, there was this thing like back in the early '90s where there was like people were trying to mash up stuff. With cowboy things, like
you're right. This is before ninjas versus pirates and zombies. Zombies.
Yeah,
weren't
this is before like
yet.
Undead Nightmare, and all that kind of stuff. But there has been like this weird side strain of stuff.
You're right. Yeah, maybe that's why at the time it didn't sell well, and also there wasn't a huge.
But this
reception.
this would have been at the beginning of that, I think.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
or mid of it. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, but it was a thing.
The point is now it kind of feels like a kind of like unique thing. But you're right. At the time, no wonder. Like we probably wouldn't have given it a second look.
No. I mean, this is totally something that like nobody paid attention to at all back at the time. But yeah, as time has gone by, people are just like, oh, this is kind of unique and interesting and different than a lot of other things that existed. And that's probably the best thing to say about it is just that like it is different, it is unique, it is something that isn't really replicated someplace else.
I do like you can fight these guys on different planes, right? They can be shooting at you from different levels. You kind of have to have some strategy if you kind of just focus on one guy and not the. They do kind of give you that kind of
and there is kind of it's almost a little bit comedic too, and some of the stuff like it's a little bit tongue in cheek. There's there's the blood spray and all that kind of stuff. It's a little over the top. It's not Kill Bill. Over the top, but it's kind of still in that vein of like just being a little cheesy. You know?
There's not a schoolgirl coming with a pickaxe ball thing hitting you. But there would have been God Hand. That's funny. You fight. I can't even mention on here. God Hand is some pretty funny.
I have to check that out too.
Yeah, I feel like God Hand's right up your alley there, Shane.
I don't know, but PS2, I mean, when you think about it, actually had a fair amount of like decent beat 'em up kind of things on it. I mean,
hack and slashes.
Yeah, and if you think about it, there was a lot of failure here because beat 'em ups definitely no one was even trotting that much on that because they didn't know how to do them again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we went from like, there's a lot of 2D beat 'em ups to it being
let's
like,
make a 3D beat 'em up.
Yeah,
but they're
none
not
of the
working.
3D beat 'em ups for like years and years, and all of them weren't any good.
And you know what we realized? It's because they were in 3D. And right now, all the beat 'em ups were going back. Like Streets of Rage is. I can't wait to that. Shoot, if we go to E3, I'm sure that'll be playable. I'll wait in line for that.
Yeah, quick plug. There's a new game on. I think it's on PC as well, but it may be on PS4. I'm not sure in Xbox, but on Switch there's a game called Fightin' Rage.
Yeah,
and it is so cool.
Yeah.
It's just an old school beat 'em up, and it's if you like old Streets of Rage. And the problem is it's DLC. It's download only. I'm hoping Limited Run actually puts out a physical release, but it is the funnest like new side-scrolling beat 'em up I've played in a while.
Oh wow! What is it called again?
It's called Fightin' Rage.
And what is it for? Switch?
Switch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
fighting
Rage.
It's
fighting. I think it's FIGHT apostrophe N.
Yeah, cool kids spell it that way.
Or Fightin' Street. I always forget. It's either Fightin' Street or Fightin' Rage. I can't remember which one.
Well, obviously it's playing on something.
Yeah, but it's all like
nostalgic.
psychedelic, like and it's got cool CRT filters on it.
Yeah.
It feels old school, but the music's neat. Shane and I played it the other night when he was.
There's
at
a
the
lot
house.
of stuff. There's a lot of there's a lot of beat 'em ups out there. Japanese beat 'em ups. There's a ton out there that don't always get their head. That beat 'em up belt action. That kind of thing.
The belt action collection is awesome.
Have
you seen
Ninja
Streets
Turtles,
of Red?
X-Men? Streets of what?
Streets of Red. That's another new one. That's pretty cool.
I haven't seen that one.
So
There's a
obviously,
lot out,
they need to quit playing on the thing because Streets of Rage, they come up with their own name. But I get it. I get it. They got to do it.
No,
That's how
you got to ride
shows
the
like
coattails,
us.
dude. That's why they're there.
Yeah, and that's how guys are like, oh, I'll throw some money at that. Sounds like something I used to play. Nostalgia. It'll get you hard.
Yep.
So Sam, are we ready to grade it here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
How many baby bottles?
I'm gonna just go three out of 5.
I'll go 3 out of 5 also.
I think I'll go 3 out of 5. That's
wow. Okay. Contentious.
Yeah. That price was a little bit further down than maybe kick it up 3.5 or something.
It's like Star Search we just did.
Yeah, I would not spend $80 on it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Especially in the PS2. There's so many games on PS2 that are way less than $80.
Yeah. Definitely did not like it. It's just
it's
it makes me kind of want to play a couple other games instead.
Honestly though, I think the best beat 'em up, and I hate that I like them so much because they're such bro dude games.
Yeah.
God of War 2.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of a lot of testosterone in that game.
Yeah, there's a ton.
But it gets a little old because it's the same thing, angry. That's why the new God of War was kind of a swell new thing.
Different thing. Yeah, no, I mean I get that, but like I said, you can get that. My point is, you can get God of War 2 for like $3.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next game, Dante's Inferno.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. You got any stats on it there,
I
Adam?
do, yeah. So this is a game developed by Visceral Games. Visceral Games. I was trying to remember earlier what Visceral had made. But I was remembering that they did Dead Space. I think they made the first Dead Space game.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
I was going to pull that up here. I mean, it's one of those EA studios that I'm not 100% sure, but the EA probably bought them and then made 3 games and then destroyed them and closed them.
And then crushed their souls.
Because that's what, after they crushed the souls of all the employees.
Yeah.
You guys did such great work.
Find a new job.
So we're gonna have you play Dante's Inferno, and then we're just gonna burn you. And
Yeah. So it started out as EA Redwood Shores Studios, I guess. And they made a lot of games. Looks like Cyber Tiger, NASCAR, a lot of EA sounding stuff. Freak Style, Lord of the Rings, some Sims games. I thought here it is. Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3 and the original Dead Space.
So they did all the Dead Space as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was definitely a thing too.
Those are all there.
Yeah.
Dead Space was kind of a thing when it came out. But so Dante's Inferno, it runs about this thing
Cheap
says,
game.
for like the complete or definitive version. What do they call it? The Divine Edition.
Yeah, Divine Edition. I own that.
So that's the big edition. Price training says $10. You can get it for $5.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, it's a very inexpensive game. I remember this. Do you guys? I remember this before it came out. Right, there's a lot of actual press behind it and hype behind it. I just remember, if you're checking the internet back in the day, like especially what gaming websites, there would be so. Now I feel it's less, but maybe I just have ad blocker on. Sometimes I have no idea, but I feel like they were pushing this one a lot, and there was a lot of hype for this game.
Yeah. I mean, and they came out in 2010, so I'm not sure if that's because of like all of the God of War hype and
yeah. So I guess we should talk about what the heck the game is.
Sorry, so it's an action, like third person. Beat 'em up essentially,
but
beat
not
'em up,
like, but not like.
It's
so
not like Samurai Western
at all. No, it's basically similar if you've seen God of War.
Yeah, it's pretty
very
much God of
similar
War.
to God of War. Yeah, and more so like, I mean, this is 2010, so this is like PS3, Xbox 360 generation. So don't think God of War 1 or 2 as much as like God of War
3.
Yeah. So it's similar to that.
Yeah. So the story is, you're going through the 7 sins. You're fighting your way through the gates of hell, right? Because you have you come home. Actually, the opening cinematic is a amazing cinematic. It is one of the most beautiful cinematics you've ever freaking seen. And basically, you come home and your lover has been kind of like beginning Gladiator, I guess. You're seeking vengeance against the devil, right? Yep. In order to save your soul, she kind of gave hers up. And anyway, the opening cinematic, you guys should check it out. Maybe go on, I'm sure it's on YouTube or whatever. You could probably find it there. But check it out. It's just like, it really grips you into the start of this game. And it's hard not to talk about the end of this game without talking about the start. But I'll tell you something I found, in doing research, and then when I wasn't able to finish playing it and kind of watching how things went, I realized this story's kind of interesting. The first third of the game is completely different than the second, and then completely different from the third, but not in a traditional way because it changes gameplay and you're changing perspective, you're changing camera. It's not like Metal Gear Solid where it throws you this big loop as you're going to play with Raiden or something. No, it actually just realizes we made a 4.5-hour game, but we've got to turn it into a 15-hour game.
Just drag it along.
But unfortunately, the quality kind of drops. So it's really tough. This one's going to be a tough one to grade too. So we can talk about some of the nuance, but the game completely changes, and it gets to the point where it gets really repetitive, and then a few parts to the game where they basically turn it into a God of War did this, where you're basically just fighting, having to do tasks over and over, like hit 30 guys in the air while not getting hit and not using block. And that's literally a level objective. Now, it starts out pretty, A to B to C. You have an objective, you move on, you fight a boss. And the first, Lust and Greed, I think, are the first couple ones. Again, it's been a month since I've played it. The first few levels are awesome and amazing. You want to keep playing. And then all of a sudden, the production value gets low, and all of a sudden the corridors, and it's not as vast. And it's like all of a sudden, it turned an A-level game into a B-level game, right? Using the same assets, but all of a sudden now the levels are, you move room to room and rinse and repeat. And or sometimes it's like, a new idea happened. You're taking a new shape, and you're growing to be, or you're on the back of something, but then it's padded and there's nothing in between. And it feels like, whoa, are we on candid camera or something like that? That was really kind of surprising. And then I find I started looking at other gameplay videos and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, thank God we didn't play it anymore. So it's for $5, I'd say, play the first 2 hours of the game and then stop. I've never said that before.
That's a weird
play the
one to
first
say.
2 hours and then stop at level 4. Because then it gets terrible. I've never had a game drop off this much. It's the weirdest thing. It's beer goggles, right? This is the beer goggles game. You start oh my God, I'm having so much fun. Everything's great. Oh wait, I'm getting sober. Where am I? Where am I? I don't have a key. I have to get home now. That's Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, that's you pretty much wrapped it up.
Sorry,
I mean,
sorry.
it
I took
is,
over.
yeah.
I took over the whole thing, but
No,
It's one of those games where, I mean, I hate to keep talking about God of War 2, but like God of War has such an epic opening sequence.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of a God of War thing. They try to have the most epic
Right.
opening sequence they possibly can. And this game kind of gets that.
it's kind of like Fast and Furious. You expect something.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
get it.
There's supposed to be this big, like, look at this
What's good
cool,
thing?
all this
Yeah.
cool stuff you could do. I mean, even Devil May Cry tries to do that kind of thing, right?
So
Like this-
safe through the streets. Okay.
Yeah, or even Bayonetta's that way. You know, there's
Right,
just this
right.
big
Oh,
epic,
yeah.
like you start, you're in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
And the game kind of sucks you in that way.
You're right.
Like,
Bayonetta is another good kind of.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
does. Yeah,
And this one's way better. Play Bayonetta over.
Or
this.
Bayonetta 2 is actually the one I was kind of thinking
Right,
of. But
agreed.
Bayonetta 2, like the opening sequence of Bayonetta 2
Oh,
is just
amazing.
unbelievable.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. But
It's crazy. You're like
Anywho.
shopping for shoes at one point.
Yeah. But this game is kind of like that. But like you said, it doesn't stay good the whole way through, and so there is a bit of a drop off. That being said, I don't know that I personally don't. This is probably means I'm a simple gamer in some ways, but I kind of like it sometimes, depending on what sort of mood I'm in and stuff. Like a repetitive beat 'em up game is sometimes perfectly fine with me, and so like. I mean, I hear what you're saying on the game and that kind of thing, but I don't like if you kind of know that going in and you're just kind of like, it's just a dumb beat 'em up and just
Yeah.
plan on it getting a little bit more repetitive as you go through. Then I think it's palatable, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you are right. It versus some other games, it doesn't keep the hype up. You know.
Yeah,
through
well,
the
I
whole
guess
thing.
yeah, and it just
Just
the
the
enemy
potential
types,
wise,
right?
though, that
Yeah,
sort of
well, it's like
upset
it
it.
goes from
Yeah.
like, hey, a new play. It literally looked like, hey, we spent all the money here.
It's
And-
like Matrix Reloaded or
yeah. Well,
or the Matrix trilogy in general.
Yeah.
You're like,
Right.
I hope it
Actually,
keeps getting better. I hope it keeps
no.
getting better.
Sinks,
and then it's like,
yeah.
nope, it's not
No,
going to do that. It's just
actually-
going to continue to get worse.
That is a perfect analogy because
is-
Matrix 2 and
right.
3 when you start, it's like, oh, we already had a fight versus Agent K, whatever his name
Yeah.
is,
Oh my
and then they do it again and they make it look crazy and then it's CG and then you're right, actually they take the same assets and make it terrible and it almost makes the first one like if Matrix still would have been just a one film by itself. It's Indiana Jones, it's Star Wars, it's all the rest.
Yeah.
But I guess they made 3 or 4 of those, all those, so that's not great. But I meant like as far as like, well, I guess yeah, you're
No,
right.
I know what
Indiana
you're
Jones,
saying.
I
And
mean,
I played
Yeah.
this game back when it came out or whatever. But still, when I think of it in my head,
Yeah.
I remember the first, like the
Right.
an hour or two of the game,
Right. Right.
and then I don't really remember much,
Yeah.
at all about the after that.
Yeah,
So.
just the same enemies. They just yeah. You end up.
But
fighting
again, it's kind of like
things.
you're saying for $5.
Oh,
it's,
sure.
it's a good game for $5. Sure.
Definitely, and especially if we only have time. Sometimes I'm playing games I really really like, and then I have to stop playing them, like God of War anyway. So this is kind of perfect in the way of like if you get one play session and you get two free hours to play, there you go.
And I guess one of the things that makes this kind of a classic is this is basically right before EA was like, oh, you like that? $10 more.
Right. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. The paying for all the
This is like honestly, like this is one of the last complete games, perhaps EA really released.
Right, I know because they just wanted to get more. Some of the specific fighting stances too. The thing that's kind of weird is I feel like the opening weapons that you have are kind of better than any upgrades you get. Once you get a couple of the initial upgrades and this kind of I forget what it's called, but it's like this. You have a faraway attack and a close attack, but that being said, your attack of things that are farther away or higher, or some of the like demons that are flying, you can't aim and you're kind of throwing out crosses, right? Because the whole idea is it's good versus evil. There's biblical themes to this. I mean, it is the whole thing's a biblical theme, but your like projectile, which are these kind of like shadows of, it's kind of cool looking if you end up looking at gameplay or something of this. You can't aim them, so when you're trying to like shoot things, it ends up being really frustrating. It's kind of like trying to catch a fly with your bare hands or something, or just like, dang it, I almost got it, and that kind of then pads things out too. But then it just kind of gets frustrating. So it is kind of a chore to beat. But I mean, still the theme and all the kind of like dark stuff, especially around Halloween time, it's pretty swell.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm talking more than anybody else. I'm sorry. Anybody else want to add anything on this one?
I
or
don't
should
think
we
so.
move-
I mean,
I don't have
it's
much
it's
at
kind of
all.
a simple game. I think we've pretty much encapsulated it.
Yeah, I'd say so. So Dante's Inferno, baby bottles.
I'll go 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
2.
I'm going to go 3.
Okay.
Just because it's $5, and like I said, $5.
I'm going to split this up from a morning bottle, an afternoon bottle. Anybody who's had kids out there like us, you don't just pack one baby bottle. You pack more than one. You got more than one. So I'm going to say the first morning baby bottle, 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Second baby bottle, it's been sitting in your hot car. And if you put that in your baby's mouth, they're going to throw up, and it's going to be your own fault. So 1 out of 5. So I'm splitting it up into 2 grades. We got
Added
a 4
sound effects for you
and
there.
then a 1. All right. I can do what I want. All right. Those were our video game book club picks for our 50th Gold Bond anniversary episode. Now, let's move on to our picks for next episode.
Hey, it's me, everybody, Tim Kittredge. I'm here to talk to you about Old School Gamer. Old School Gamer is the magazine for gamers. It covers arcade and retro gaming, gives you gaming history and in-depth interviews with people like me who are there, and it lets you know what conventions are happening and when. Issues come out once every other month. Plus, a website full of even more razzle-dazzle, and it's all for just $30 a year. So visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. Whoa, boom shakalaka!
So, moving on, because previously we had the Xbox, right? We worked our way up. We've gone from NES and we got all the way to Xbox. So we got Adam's favorite one coming up. Our next round of Video Game Dad picks for the Video Game Book Club are going to be from that little console.
The little lunchbox.
The perfect purple square.
It's got a little handle on it.
Do you like purple? Do you like squares? Do you like your purple called indigo? Then you like the GameCube. And I think we should just let... we used to be really good about like order and stuff. Now we're just like, who wants to go? We were like strict about it. No, it's your turn. No, it's your turn. Well, Adam...
That's what happens when you get 50. It's
When you get 50, you're just like,
whatever.
Whatever. There's
downhill from here.
things are falling out. Things are aching. It's like, what else? Bring it on. We know something else is going to come on. So, Adam, you get your first pick for the GameCube. Remember, not top 15%, which is kind of tough. We're talking about that.
It's got to be something a little bit different. And this so the game I'm going to pick is technically a multi-platform game.
Okay.
But I still think I'm going to go with it, and that is Alien Hominid.
Yeah, nice pick.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool game. It's a Contra-like arcade shooter-ish 2D playing.
Little run and gun.
Run and gun action.
I like the name too. Alien, I know what that is. Hominid, what?
It's like a human, but not really.
Like, are you insulting me? If someone say, "Hey, you're a hominid," oh yeah, well,
look, you can't see my hominid. I have my pants on.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, what is a hominid?
It's like a humanish thing.
Yeah. Adam's mom, please
Adam's
write
mom,
in.
yeah.
What's
Mom.
a shinobi?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Mom, look up hominid, please. And send us an email.
Send us email, please.
Yeah. Meatloaf. Alien Hominid.
The cool thing about this game, though, is it actually started as a Flash browser game.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh,
That was actually the first way I ever played it.
Yeah. I know, kind of like it got a Castle Crashers, kind of like a lot of people played it, but a lot of people haven't. But I'm excited to play this one. Alien Hominid for the Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah, and just to throw it out there if anybody wants to play along, there's the GameCube version, there's a PS2 version, I think there's an Xbox version. Or no?
No, I don't think so.
No, maybe not.
But there is a Game Boy Advance version.
There is a Game Boy Advance
but
version.
But it's only sold in Europe. There
and
wasn't really.
I haven't ever Googled it, but I would assume that Flash version exists somewhere on the interwebs.
Sure.
It's bound to be out there.
Yeah. And all right, so we also did our randomizer before the show, which is our physical bingo ball cage, and we've had a lot. We had a new one. We've got a lot of Video Game Book Club listener picks to go in there, and I'm glad. You know what got picked? We have them all numbered. This was number 4, right? And we go up way high.
It's been in there for eons.
And number 1 has been picked. Number 2 hasn't. Number 3 has. So it's second to oldest in there.
Man.
And that is Metal Storm for the NES from Lee. Lee, if you're still listening,
if you're still listening,
throw a bottle in the ocean.
He's one of the OGs, man.
Yeah, Lee is
OG, man.
he's been listening 2.5 years. He's like, I've been waiting for this, and now he doesn't even care. He probably forgot his pick. He might be middle-aged like us. So. Lee, just so you remember,
you got
don't drive at night. Sorry. All right, Metal Storm. Metal Storm for the NES. And, I'm kind of nice after having those we've actually had a break from the NES. Now, believe it or not, this is Ben saying this. I'm kind of okay jumping back to a nice NES.
Dude.
Nice NES.
A little easier to play.
Easy.
It's a mech game with gravity.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We're already ruining things for him.
I'm not
Spoiler
ruining it.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
Metal Storm. I just thought.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some gameplay of it, but I haven't played it. So I haven't played it fully, so I'm excited about it.
Man, it's a good game.
Cool.
Good
okay.
stuff.
So Metal Storm for the NES is our listener pick for episode 51 coming up. And then Adam picked Alien Hominid for the Nintendo GameCube. Awesome. Yeah, so let's talk about this PS5, this new edition. Oh, guys, so I moved my game room. Right, I'm going to make a video here on the YouTubes.
Nice.
There's another one that came up, which we'll talk about later during the pickups. But I'm doing another new nursery, right?
Yeah.
And I've only got a month left, 5 weeks until the due date.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but it's a girl's room, right?
It's crunch time.
And a girl's room, I was kind of not looking forward to it.
Is the wife pushing you out of the way, stiff arm you? Like
Well,
Walter Payton.
she has actually let me kind of, we picked out the theme is like mermaids. And I'm kind of okay with that because, like, I thought Ariel was easy on the eyes as a kid. Like, out of all the Disney movies that were more of the girl side, like, it's a cool movie. I liked Flounder. I had like a Flounder toy as a kid and everything.
Remember this McDonald's?
And she was
toys?
cool because
Yeah.
she like swam real fast and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, you can swim real fast.
I had a second grade school teacher that looked like Ursula.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's awesome.
My favorite teacher.
Yikes! So you love Little Mermaid?
Oh yeah, acted just
Mind
like
you.
her, looked like her.
She had the best song out of that whole movie. It's like good stuff. She like stealing people's. I didn't even that concept to me when I was a kid. I was like, you could steal someone's voice.
Oh yeah, my son. It's actually a really short movie. It's only like a little over an hour long.
Yeah,
I think Little
probably,
Mermaid.
yeah.
But like my son and my daughter were watching it. I don't know, like a couple months ago or whatever. And yeah, Ursula has like this little garden of like little what used to be little mermaid people, but it's like their little wilted souls back there.
Yeah,
Like,
because she
I was
stole
like,
their souls.
ooh, Disney, this is dark.
Yeah, it's cool. And then she had the little eels because that was her henchman. Was
Yeah,
the
she has
little
the evil eels that like share an eyeball or something. Or
Yeah.
am I thinking of the right one? Yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah, she has like a telepathic like link to their eyeballs or something. Can see what they say.
I haven't seen
And
this
but it's like the Garden of Souls back there behind Ursula, though. Man, that's some dark Disney stuff.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Well, we could segue right in. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Look at all these video games.
All right, you guys
Girl
stop.
who has everything. I'm going to keep going. I got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I got a Neo Geo and some more. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Dang it. Everybody turned off. Except
more.
people who like that kind of
No,
thing.
except our show tune sub.
This is very much like a
division of
collector,
listeners.
but who cares? No big deal. I want more. This is us, guys. We
No,
are.
actually, the scene
is
of Little
us.
Mermaid where she's in the vault with all of her human collectible crap.
Yeah.
Forks.
And her husband's like all mad at her and stuff. And I was like,
That's this song.
I
that
was
I'm
like,
singing.
oh my god, this is too close to home.
Yeah, that's it. Look at that. That's a spork. You rub it in your hair. That was kind of funny. Where like the seagull is the one that tells him what it is because he's
Yeah, he's
that's
like
actually pretty
that's
clever.
what's a medusa or whatever. Yeah,
And that's a snarfblat. And you blow it. I don't know. I know all this stuff. God grief. Good grief. So anyway, doing the kiddos room, getting ready for all that. But it's kind of white crib. So it's a feminine room, but it's like kind of cool. I don't know. It's nice.
You're painting it yourself?
Yeah, I did all.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
light gray theme, and we got a lot. There's a lot of mermaid. The neat thing is like when things are in front of you when you don't want them, and all of a sudden you're like, crap, I need some mermaid stuff.
Yeah, where are you going to find some mermaid stuff?
It's everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the funny
Oh, wow.
thing.
Yeah, I
You go
wouldn't
to
think that. I would think-
Walmart,
nah.
you go to Target. There's literally like homemade Etsy like looking mermaid pictures. After the
Really?
podcast, I'll take you up there because Adam already saw it. I filled the whole room with like mermaid stuff that's like not just kind of kitschy whatever.
Yeah.
And it like they have that stuff around and available.
You figured that'd be hard to
Mermaids are pretty-
find, especially in
You
Kansas,
think, but actually
know?
for no, it's like everywhere.
Have you guys ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
Yes.
The Merman.
Oh yeah, the merman. Very good.
That's the best.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods, great flick.
Yeah.
Great flick. One of the Avenger guys was in that.
I don't remember. And we're talking about I think maybe there's more than one movie. It's called Cabin in the Woods, but it's the Joss Whedon.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking
modern
about too.
version.
Yeah, the kind of like, you think the way this is.
It's like,
going,
let it be
it's
the
not.
merman. Let it be the merman. And then
Yeah.
it's the merman.
I have seen that like once. I need to watch that movie.
Yeah,
again.
no,
Great movie.
yeah,
Great
yeah.
movie. Oh, and I saw that Joker too.
Oh, you saw
seen it
that
yet?
one?
You saw it?
I saw it.
How was that?
I saw it the first weekend. I really, really liked it.
It looks
I really
really good,
liked it.
man.
Now, people say if you've seen King of Comedy and if you've seen Taxi, right?
Yeah, taxi. Yeah,
Taxi?
like the old Al
Taxi
Pacino
Driver.
movie.
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
Then like you've you've kind of seen the inspiration, but I haven't. It's been a
those,
while since those. I haven't watched them in a while, so it felt very good. The acting was wonderful, even though I don't watch movies just to act. Like, there's people I know that go and before the Academy Awards find out all the ones like listed for Best Picture, like, and there's like 10 of them, and they go and watch those. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. It's just too. I got to watch a movie that I'm kind of into. So I liked. It's obviously got some DC reference, but it's all these things people have wanted, like DC dark, but dark right.
Yes.
I thought the psychology they go into and the messages they go into with, it's not hitting you over the head with like, things will create mad people, right? And they were worried about all the drama. So without getting to, this isn't a, movie podcast. I thought it was great. I thought it was wonderful.
Seems like DC could do the movies if they're dark,
yeah.
right?
Oh.
Like the Batman.
I mean,
dark.
it was shocking and not overly shocking. So it's like definitely, if without saying this, it's gruesome. It's not for kids. But that being said, it's like, oh yeah, I definitely watch it. And we saw it in the Dolby, like big movie theater. Definitely some shocking point. I can't. I'm talking about this without giving away anything, so it's hard. But basically, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was wonderful. Nice. Yeah, and the acting is like some of the best acting I've ever seen. It's great. But if you want a superhero movie, whatever you want. I feel like there's good, super dark, funny, non-funny comedy, like whatever kind of genre you like and what you want from a superhero. I think now you found it all. Like and they compare. I will say they compare Jokers. It has now made Jared Leto's Joker. I didn't even think it could get worse. It made it even worse now. The Suicide Squad Joker, that terrible thing. Because now I think the others are good. There's Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson. Yep. Jack Nicholson, and then of course the late Heath Ledger. Yep. I thought did a Joker very differently. It was like more like mobster gangster with Jack Nicholson, but he did it when there's nothing before. So the fact he came up with that character and did what he did with it at the time was awesome.
He did a good job.
And then of course Heath Ledger was.
He did the best.
Yeah, psychotic. But this one was more a different take. I didn't think you could do, and even the laugh and everything. I was just very surprised by the whole film. That was great. But didn't see that with the kiddos. But I will tell you, I went to go see it twice with a buddy.
Yeah, I hope you didn't watch that with the kiddos either.
No. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It 2 twice. I saw it with my...
So you saw it 4.
Yes, exactly. I saw it twice. I saw it one with my niece, which was kind of fun. I talked about that before. Saw it with my buddy again. You would not believe. I went to this last week, and there was a family with kids seeing it too. And when I say kids, it was probably a 3 and 4 year old. And as soon as we were, and it was getting dark, and all of a sudden you hear a kid's voice, you're like, is a kid really going to watch this movie? And it was really weird. Maybe they're desensitized or something. Yeah. Maybe the family like kept them looking forward. Every once in a while when it was a gross scene, they would say something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's nasty or dirty or something. But I would like, how does that not give you nightmares? It was really weird.
That's really weird.
So, not to be judgy, but I was totally judging that. But the other side of it was when I left, I was like, well, maybe that family just, it's better than leave them home. They don't have a babysitter, so it's like they leave them home alone, right? Yeah. That would be negligent. So I guess between leaving them home alone and taking them to a movie that will scar them for life, I guess that's the better thing to do.
The better of the two.
Yeah, the better of the two. But we don't judge here on the Video Game Dads podcast unless you're terrible. then we judge away. Really terrible. Then you're pretty terrible. So I'm putting together mermaid stuff and watching horror, terrible like psychological thrillers. It's a wonder and I'm keeping
quite
my
a
day job.
There,
yeah,
Mr.
I know.
Benjamin.
Right? Yeah. I like to be a Renaissance man, so to speak. But you, anything else? So I was working, but you, Adam.
Oh, it's been birthday fanatics in my place. Yeah, so my son.
A Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, Dante's Inferno of birthday. So my son is turning 6.
Greed.
And he's in school now.
Yeah.
And into school, you have to invite everybody.
Yeah.
Like you can't just invite like.
Oh, I'm not at that point yet.
Yeah, so you got to invite.
When does that?
Wait till you get to that point.
And so
this is when it's happening.
What age
right
does
now.
that start?
Kindergarten,
I
guess. But
KG, baby.
But where he goes to kindergarten, it's like
I've got 3
he's
years.
in his own class, but his class kind of commingles with this other class. You have to invite both classes.
Oh boy!
So it's like 45 kids or something like that. So you have to. Long story short, we rented out like this bounce house kind of place, that has like black lights and like loud, irritating music and like neon carpet, all this kind of stuff. And so we rented this place out, and I mean, it was cool and it was fun. I think all the kids had a lot of fun, but it was a little bit weird because, it's the beginning of like kindergarten, and I don't know like
anyone,
half of or more of the other parents in the group and stuff. So then but they bring their kids because the kids are friends, and that's like the whole point. But then like it's sort of this awkward, like we're all at this kid's birthday party, but not everybody knows everybody.
Do you pass around a flask? Is that how you break the ice?
No, I don't know. I mean, I tried to talk to I tried to talk to as many people as I could, but like 30 kids showed up to this thing, so it's like I didn't have enough time really to like talk to everybody. So it was just sort of this. It was a happy yet awkward experience, for a couple of hours. But Shane was there, so that was cool.
Yeah. No.
And I think the kids had a good time.
I was wondering where all those people were, man. I was just like,
but it's crazy because all of our family lives out of town. So then we had this like, kind of awkward birthday party with a lot of people we don't know. And then...
did they all bring presents?
Yeah. So they're like buying presents for my kid, even though I don't really know him,
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. It's kind
of
weird.
A lot of gift receipts in there.
Yeah, some. Yeah. And of course, they don't know what. Actually, the only repeat present he got was Rock'em Sock'em Robots, of all things.
That's fun. Oh, that's funny because that's what I got Shane.
Yeah, he already.
Shane, did you re-gift that?
No, it was not.
No, I didn't. Nope.
But no, that was the only repeat gift out of the whole thing was Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
That's funny.
But
I thought it was pretty unique.
But like the in-laws were in last weekend, and then my folks came up the other weekend, and then we had like some other relatives come in. So we've done like 4 or 5 birthday parties, I think, at this point. And then we still have one to go because of all these different people coming in and stuff. So my son has like the best birthday ever.
Yeah.
Because he just like, it's every day is like party. He thinks birthday works like Hanukkah or something.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, oh, this is like a 12-day thing,
Jeez.
Where I just get like presents like all the time.
This is going to go downhill.
I know.
Like,
and I'm
you
like,
started at the peak, and I'm trying
to like nicely explain to him that like you're peaking at 5, young man. This is
slowly dwindle down.
Not boding well for the future.
Well, yeah, and then how long do parties go till? Because I'm now trying to think. Parties start around now, but like I remember as a teenager in high school, you don't really have birthday parties.
No, I mean I think they peter out around like what 10 or so, 10 or 12.
Okay, so that's
13,
not too bad. I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? And then it gets like smaller. It's like bring a friend over.
Right. Even less. Yeah.
So that's not bad because my brain was thinking this is like decades of stuff you have to do, but it's just a few years of these.
No, I mean I like the birthday parties and all that kind of stuff. It's cool, but like it's
like wedding planning light.
Sort of, but it's tough on the family when like for 2 solid weeks you're just doing like one kid's birthday party, like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Okay. yeah, that would be tough. So we're not there yet, but we'll get there. That's for sure. So segue into another 6th birthday, almost be like a PS5, even though it ages like you were born on leap year. It's not coming out. Can you imagine if it came out every year? That would be by now. It'd be like PlayStation 82. It's technically the PS5. Some news. And just so you know, if you haven't listened to our podcast, you're going to hear all the most up-to-date, correct analysis of the PlayStation
100%.
5. And it's going to be correct. It's not going to be as if we
no speculation here, folks.
Yeah, as if we have day jobs or we're not particularly in the industry, yet we are the target demographic and we know what we're talking about.
No, we know people.
We're just
the
guys.
Everyone.
Yeah. We're the guys who get together.
We have a mole at Sony HQ.
Yeah,
feeding us the tidbits. Mm-hmm. He's a little furry critter. He's about this tall.
Yeah,
and he digs holes. He's our mole.
Yeah,
you got him.
You move a certain rock outside of my house, and it sends you in a tunnel directly to Sony headquarters.
Man, the mole's got a little satellite dish on his head,
we're
just
that
beaming
close.
it back.
So anyway,
we're good. Yeah,
we know our audience. We're basically good news. We at least have some idea. Everybody knows PS5 is going to come out. They officially called it the PS5, right?
Shocker.
Yep. And they've slowly just released also kind of officially, even though I've kind of been listening and knowing this is going to come out holiday 2020. But for those that don't know, the PlayStation 5 is set to come out holiday 2020. Yeah. So, and it will be called the PS5. Actually, and it's funny we're saying this, but I've done even less research, and hopefully you guys have something. I do know it will have a 4K Blu-ray drive, which the PlayStation Pro does not have yet.
They're saying it's going to have 8K support.
Yep, I've heard that too.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going from 4 to 8K, and this was the point where I told Shane years ago, our eyeballs can't.
We can do no better.
So if you have
especially at our age now.
Between 4K and 8K, I would say don't invest in an 8K TV because unless you're a bald eagle, right, and see better than 20/20 vision. Yeah. And watch, we have Bald Eagle came out. What? I finally got a system.
You got
Evidently, Bald Eagles talk like an old man. I don't have a Bald Eagle.
Some gold bundle.
Yeah, I don't have a Bald Eagle voice in my repertoire. Sorry. What would a Bald Eagle talk? I just think Bald is old man, so I guess that wasn't too far off. But what I'm getting at is, 8K doesn't impress me right now. The 4K Blu-ray does.
I'm waiting for Xbox to say, like, we're 10K.
Oh, yeah.
20K, baby.
Ray tracing. Blah, blah, blah. We talked a little about that last time. I mean, I'm all about something running well, but we keep doing it on like frames per second. We're getting so high fidelity, we're forgetting about the simple things of just like frames, right?
Yeah.
So then,
have that thing run.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just do
yeah.
that.
And then, okay, so I've heard so yeah, you heard it here first. We're just going to fill you with confusion. It's not fully backwards compatible with the PS4. Is that true or is it not?
I think allegedly they're still saying it is backwards compatible.
Yeah,
with
they're
PS4.
saying
I think that is all still a little bit up in the air. But
Okay,
yeah, allegedly it's still backwards
So
compatible.
that's big for people who are on the fence or not, or waiting to get a PS4, right? Or if they want to do both.
Be, like, because with that mid-gen...
I think they're keeping the same basic architecture. I mean, a PS4 or an Xbox for that matter are basically the same architecture as like a PC, just kind of scaled down a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. It's got all the same geometry stuff.
Right. Anything? What all have you heard about this announcement besides obvious stuff?
Well, so there's the release date, the name confirmation, the one of the big hype points of both
hype
of the new Xbox as well as the PS5 is that both are going to have solid state drives.
Okay,
that's the thing I heard.
I don't think that they've announced like exactly how big those drives are going to be, and they probably won't figure that out until they figure out what pricing of those drives is going to be closer to launch day.
Yeah.
And solid state drive that basically makes it load faster. Is that
basically? So there's no moving parts. It's basically like a really ramped up SD card. Is basically
I think like
the
flash thumb drives, which kind of we're old enough to know like thumb drives were awesome, but when we were really using them a lot in school, they were pretty small. Then all of a sudden now you realize like thumb drives, 64-bit, 128-bit, they're like cheap as heck, especially around Black Friday. Yeah. Well, now your hard drive is a thumb drive.
The biggest difference, I mean, they're more reliable than a thumb drive, but the other difference is like, versus like an SD card, your transfer is going to be like maybe 30, maybe 50, megs a second, something like that. Mm-hmm. These solid state drives, the transfer rates are like 600 and up. Yeah, they go up to like even over near 1500 megs a second, depending on which ones you're talking about. So
loading times, if it's normally 45 seconds, 3.
Oh, yeah, wow. So they just load really fast. The downside is they're more expensive and they're not as big as what you can get an optical drive with.
Correct.
But they're getting fast enough that in these new machines that they can kind of use them like RAM, meaning that your RAM's where everything goes and gets stored that the computer's actually using at the moment. But these drives are so fast that they can do things back and forth between the drive, just like you would with the RAM in the computer. So there's sort of this double tasking of you have the RAM in it, but now you can use a solid state drive as additional short-term storage. And so that's the other big pushing point is that games are going to be able to push themselves out into this other piece of hardware a little bit. But I'm not sure how that works if the drive's getting full of games. You know what I mean? Or how much...
Another thing that he said, this is kind of like what the Wii, the Switch is kind of what the Wii U promised. That's what you kind of, Shane's kind of said before is like, because you were...
when I looked at it.
Which is very true. It is actually portable. You can pick it up and go like the Wii U. Not really. You're leashed with a tether of how close you can be to the system. So this also, the things that PS4 and that generation promised with this like, hey, turn it off and pause, and then you can wake it right back up. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. And those were the early promises of the PS4 about like the cloud gaming and backing everything up and being able to pause a game in the middle of this and turning it off and it goes into a low power state so you won't have to worry about reloading and rebooting and getting into this. Well, it's still kind of a process. This time they said, no, actually it's going to be super legit. Yeah. Like the console, you'll never really even want to turn it off. And you don't have to go up with any of these kind of hard boots, kind of like people with laptops who constantly just put it to sleep or close the desk and do that for almost years, and as long as it's plugged in, that kind of thing. And also saving, because knowing that, if you're hoping for a 1 terabyte SSD, how expensive this thing is going to be. They did say that now, if you are someone who only utilizes a certain aspect of the game, you only have to download that to your SSD. For example, Call of Duty. I'm a single player guy. Some people are just multiplayer guys. If you know a certain part of your system, you play Last of Us and it has a multiplayer aspect, you're never going to play multiplayer, and that ends up taking 40 or 60%, sometimes more randomly of the drive and the memory and everything. You can then choose not to download that, and you still have the game.
Nice.
So now you have options of parts of the game to download to your hard drive because it'll still do the same thing.
That's cool.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So like Call of Duty, I don't need the thing, so you don't have to fill it up. So now all of a sudden, it's just 30 gigs instead of 180, or that's just for an example or whatever. So that's another thing I realized came out. Also, the controller. You want to talk about that, Adam?
So the big thing on the controller is that it's going to have quote unquote haptic feedback.
Yeah.
Which I don't fully understand, but it's basically the HD Rumble kind of stuff, in the Switch.
It's
so
happy tactic. That's how they put it together.
Yeah.
Haptic.
Yeah, so it's more variable than just what's on Xbox or PS4 right now, which are basically just rumbles.
They made it seem like they can turn it into like weighing 10 pounds all of a sudden, and all of a sudden it feels heavy.
No, but you can make the controller feel like asymmetrically heavy toward one side or the other.
But that's interesting, right? Or the
or
thumbsticks
you can make
get
it
all
feel
of a
like
sudden
there's something rolling around in the controller, or make it feel like a baton or something like that. Like, because I've done it with the Switch, it's pretty cool. I mean,
it's
actually,
cool, but they never end up using.
Yeah,
it,
in Switch they have not used it as much as they probably should.
Yeah, and now the Switch Lite doesn't have it.
Doesn't even have it, so you know where that's going, and this is what this
so I
is
don't
going
know.
to be too.
I don't know about the haptic feedback. I actually think on PS4 it's pretty neat, the little speaker in the controller. Like in certain games, use that in interesting ways.
We had that, giving Wii some shit.
Yeah, but
some props.
But
the glowy light too on the PS4 is nice because when you're playing those games with the camera,
Grand Theft Auto is cool.
The touchy, the touchy.
But
thing.
the speaker is supposed to be better, and the new controller is supposed to be better, louder, higher fidelity, etc. And also, like one of my major gripes, I don't have many gripes about PS4, but one of my major gripes about it is the battery life on the controller sucks, and at least in my opinion. Because PS3 actually had a lot better battery life than the PS4 controller does.
Yeah. I think the newer ones are a lot better. I bought the purple one.
I keep mine on a charge deck, so it doesn't really matter that much anymore. But they will run down on you a lot faster. But the PS5 controllers have USB-C charging.
Oh,
and
wow, that's nice. I didn't know that.
Which is way faster than the whatever that is, USB.
So basically, like the Switch, I can
remember what they call it.
2?
Yeah, whatever. It's that little tiny mini
USB-C
thing.
Yeah.
No,
what C's the new one.
C's the new one. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's a USB thing that's on the ones now. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, isn't it called mini USB?
Yeah, it's a mini USB thing, but it charges a lot slower.
Yes.
So it's going to have better battery life, bigger battery.
If it's got a USB-C with that size, because I'm a tech guy running math, but actually, like, you should be able to charge the controller from dead to fully charged in probably like less than 30 minutes easily.
Yeah,
like probably like 20 minutes.
That's cool.
Right?
Which means if your battery's dying or whatever, you can just like throw your controller on the thing for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because I use
go grab a drink or something and then come back, and you've already got enough juice probably to run another hour or so. So.
I use USB-C for my phone, and I have an aftermarket, like a secondary battery, because it's one of the last Androids where you can put a battery inside of it.
I'm kind of wondering,
And this thing charges in like 5 hours, but it's huge. It's 11,000 milliamps, so the controller is going to be 1/10 of that. So yeah, it's going to charge. Literally, it's going to charge in 20 minutes. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's cool. And the one thing I'm kind of hoping that either Xbox or PlayStation announces about the next version is, I'm still waiting for somebody to say you can charge wirelessly.
Oh, but then, we're all going to have ears coming out of our forehead.
Well, I guess. Maybe, I mean, it's kind of a pipe dream, perhaps, but it would be really cool if they had a wire, or even mid-generation if they released a wireless charging controller.
Right. That'll be the new thing. You got to have gimmicks with the controller, because that's kind of part of it, and they realize that. Like, things aren't going to be like the, the touch stuff on the PS4. The PS4 controller had a lot of gimmicks to it. I still think it's a comfortable controller. It's fine, but... do you think Xbox is still going to use freaking batteries?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Jeez,
I actually don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind the Xbox 360 controller or Xbox One X controllers with the batteries.
It's good, but it's a funny thing.
Yeah, I think it's funny, but I because I use it on on my Nvidia Shield or my TV.
Yeah,
I use the Xbox
it's a comfortable controller.
Yeah, I like the controller.
Right? But why they use batteries.
But I like the PS4 controller better, but the Xbox one isn't bad. But the other thing that they've announced or confirmed rather is that it's going to maintain PS4 or PSVR compatibility. Mm-hmm. So all your PSVR stuff's just going to migrate right over to the new system.
That's good.
I would assume there's going to be an upgrade at some point with the PSVR hardware itself.
So.
I'm sure there'll be another refresh.
Did you guys hear about that? That's actually in the last 12 hours.
Oh,
you might not.
I haven't read about this since yesterday.
That's nice. And you're hearing this like if we record on Thursday, and then we're going to do on a Monday. It's going to be old news, I guess, by then. But there was a patent that came out that leaked. and it looked very official, and it looks like a PS5 version of the PSVR hardware, and it looks like a new headset. That being said, it's not a drastic change. A lot more sensors. You know, the front has those two eyes, and then the ones around the corner. Imagine it having way more. Yeah. But also, what was nice about it, at first I thought, oh, they have one small wire coming out of it. Actually, that was part of the patent photo showing another charging point or something. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure. I mean, it could be wrong. It could be fake. Could be whatever. But it seemed like it was a upgraded headset that was also wireless. Oh. And it didn't have any wires connected.
Yeah, that would be legit.
Now, that being said, do you have to have a patent with it? I don't know enough patent technology to feel like, if a wire would be implied or yada yada yo. But it definitely knows, and with the upgrade, it's going to at very least have one small wire. Man. But if it's wireless, anyway.
The only other thing I was going to say on the VR side confirmed. Of things is because I've got a Oculus Rift S on my PC, and it does pass through. Yeah, it's got cameras all around it.
Oh yeah.
And it would be so nice if it had pass through on it, because pass throughs is actually legit. Really
I would be
nice.
shocked.
I have an Oculus Quest, so that just wireless headphone.
I mean, it does pass through as well.
Yeah, but it's amazing, man.
But yeah, it's cool when you have your headset on, but you can still see what's going on outside the headset.
Oh yeah, that's setting up your boundaries and everything.
Yeah, you set your boundaries up, but it's neat because if I go through the boundaries, it just flicks on to like, okay, here's your room and here's all your stuff, and then you see what you're doing, and I mean, it's all black and white, kind of. It's like this weird kind of purplish black and white. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's like you're in a dream state, but you're seeing the real world. And it's 1-to-1. I mean, but it's neat to have that. So I hope PlayStation has that.
That's awesome. I like the 5. I like the number. I like that we know what we're kind of getting out of it. Obviously PS4 just dominated. Well, let's real quick just touch. We have to go on Xbox to nothing new, but like, what are they going to name this thing? That's my question. What are they going to name it? Let's go around the room.
I hope.
Go ahead, Shane. Shane first. What are they going to name the new Xbox? 360, Xbox One. Original was called the Xbox. Give me a really stupid name that they're going to call this thing.
I don't even know. It's going to be something stupid. So,
I haven't thought about this either. Don't worry. I'm going to be put on the spot as much as you.
The big box.
Good. That's a good one. That's nice and stupid.
Box.
The big Xbox big box.
Yep.
Go ahead, Adam. What is your Xbox? First thing
it
comes
sounds
in your
like
head.
a meal.
Here's the thing. The first thing that comes in your head, even though it's going to be dumb, probably better than what they pick.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
The point of me doing this, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam. What is it?
I'm going to go with the
Microsoft.
Well, I've got two.
Okay.
So the first is the Mega Box.
Nice.
Yeah, I like Mega Box kind of, but
that's way better than what they're going to come
up with. It might be too Sega-ish sounding, Mega Box, so they might not stick with that. The other one might be the Shockbox 2000. I mean, or the Shocks Box. SHOXBOX.
I like it.
2000, but it's going to be 20XX.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's extreme.
All right.
I like it.
I don't even know. I was like listening to your stuff. I don't even have something up. The Microsoft, I would say the Xbox X Circle Box or something, but then they already had the 360. So actually they went from 360 to Xbox a box. So next would be a triangle, right? The Xbox Pyramid.
Who knows?
Does it sound like a bad name? That's probably what they're going to pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would they...
I don't know. They talk about that Project Scarlet, and so allegedly, I mean, what little they say has leaked about it, thing looks like it's going to be a freaking monster. The
only thing.
Do you think they're going to undercut? So for them to win, sorry not to cut you off,
you're good.
But
you're good.
I feel like one of them, there's going to have to be a discrepancy in price, and I feel because Xbox knows the only way they're going to beat the PS5 is maybe get ahead because they've been so humbled. Do you think they're going to do a price slash thing? Because they didn't before, right? They were more expensive. I don't know how
they came with all this new technology. They're supposed to be cramming into that new thing.
Because
I actually feel like Sony has been hearing
units.
things about what Microsoft is going to do and then adjusting accordingly. Because like every time Microsoft says, "Oh yeah, we're doing a solid state hard drive," Sony like a few weeks later, a month later, will be like, "Yeah, we're doing a solid state hard drive." And then Xbox will say, we're doing 8K. And then Sony a couple months later will be like, "Yeah, we're going to do 8K too." Like I actually feel like Sony's adjusting to what They may not meet the same specs as Xbox, but I think they're trying to get the same overall baseline. Like, well, this
you just
big
need to be around
we
that
also have a
hovering area.
version of that.
They definitely don't want to be lacking in anything.
Yep.
But my contrarian part is we are a year away. There's no way this hasn't already been thought about. Kind of in years. They can't, at this point, creating a console and all the technology and the chips and buying it and ordering it.
But the Xbox is using like a whole new proprietary thing. Like its processor is just for it. Like supposedly the system is, versus, like, I mean, even when you go back to the OG Xbox, I mean, the OG Xbox uses a bunch of PC components and stuff, and it's kind of generic-ish. Because of that, but like the new one is allegedly like all designed specifically for its own thing. Won't even be available on PC and stuff. It's like it's its own thing.
If I was Xbox, what I would do, you can't let Sony beat you to market. You have to go in exact same time. You need to go in exactly when they do.
I bet they launch within a month of each other.
They need to do that. Hit them with that Game Pass. Hit them with it. They have the better graphics, so any kind of multi-platform.
They've done this.
You're better on Xbox, but they didn't go straight head to head though. It was
my biggest problem with Xbox, and the thing that will keep me from getting one is just that I can get Game Pass on PC. I can play all the games on PC, so I'll just stick with PC.
Well, the Xbox One X, I mean, who talks about that thing? And it doesn't have games to play. We've talked about that. Like the Xbox One.
But you
X
have to just drive home
like
that if you want a multi-platform game, what's it going to look best on? What's it going to play best on?
One thing I heard,
Xbox.
right?
Xbox. Hammer that into people's heads. I don't think they've really done that.
Yeah, but then we're focused on the systems because we're lovely nerdy guys. But I'm going to bring it back around to the games, and that is the thing, right?
It is. But Microsoft is slowly in the background though been building a studio structure, just like what Sony has.
And Sony's not been resting on the laurels. There's a few studios that haven't come out. I can't remember what. I listen to other podcasts and stuff too. So there's a few studios that PlayStation has done the same thing where they haven't created a game in like 3 years, or they've stopped shut stuff off, and they're like da-da-da, and then you kind of finally hear a leak like, oh, we've been working on a PS5 exclusive and it's going to blow out of water. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense because you haven't made a game in 3 years.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, no, there's going to be some cool stuff at E3 next year for sure.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Well, that's our PS5 hot takes. We don't have time to talk to the CEO. I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't have time for you.
No.
The CEO of Sony's here, and we've decided
that
he
got fired, didn't he?
Our banter is, well,
He's not the CEO. It's like one of those other guys.
What is he? President of America. Sorry. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know your title, sir. He's here in the studio, guys. Come on, we don't have camera. We got to play with this a little bit. Anyway, we were going to interview him for our segment, but we thought it was much better to hear about our than the official word. So sorry. Yep. All right. Okay, he's taken off. He gave us a nice wave. Oh, he gave us some.
That's not a wave. That's just one finger.
Oh, is it one finger?
Yeah.
Well, shoot. Well, dang it. He left a debug kit here, so we're going to get to play it. We'll tell you our thoughts on it next time.
I hope they bring back the boomerang controller. That's my only real hope.
That PS3 boomerang controller. So. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google PS3 boomerang controller.
Yeah, it was legitimately what this thing was going to look like till everybody saw it and said, "Hey, guess what? We aren't lobsters. How do you expect us to play this thing?"
You know what I instantly thought of? I'm sorry, I'm side railing us or sidetracking us here, but you ever watch Crocodile Dundee 2? Horrible movie, but there's like a part of it where he rips like that little boomerang thing off the back of like a limo and throws it at people.
Yeah. It's pretty much that.
That's pretty much that controller.
Dude,
yeah.
That thing was hideous.
Yep. Trivial Pursuit. Who was the limo driver?
It wasn't Reginald Denny, was it?
It was Family Guy's Carl, the
Reginald
dad.
Denny. That's Reginald Denny.
Yeah. Steve,
he was always the guy in all those movies. Like he's John McClane's
Wasn't he in John McClane? Yeah, wasn't he a driver in that too or something?
He's still around, man. He goes to cons and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. He's like
he's cool.
I thought he made YouTube videos.
Yeah, man. Carl Winslow's in Die Hard.
He opens.
He's like John McClane. You're one heck of a man. You know, like he's like the pump up guy. He's 2 days from retirement on the ground. Yeah.
Oh, that's Lamar or whatever. You ever see that guy that on YouTube? He looks exactly like that, dude. I swear to God.
All right.
You have to check it out.
Yeah. Well, Crocodile Dundee.
Sorry, I will never talk about Crocodile Dundee again.
Never talk about Crocodile Dundee again.
Hey, man, he sold a lot of Subaru Outbacks in this country.
I watched Crocodile Dundee 1 like recently with my son. You know, so I was like, I love this movie when I was a kid. You know,
is it violent or something? What are you gonna say?
No. It's terrible.
Oh, really?
It is a horrible movie. It's just a movie about a guy in Australia where nothing happens.
Huh. It's been a while since I saw it.
Yeah, no, it's not good, man.
Well, I think a big thing
Paul
was...
Hogan, right?
Paul Hogan, yeah.
I think a big thing about that was it was in the 80s when actually like we still didn't have much culture about Australia. We didn't know much about it. And it was our first American taste of, oh my gosh, there's this country down there that we don't know anything about. I've heard in Australia
they actually hate Paul Hogan. Because,
yeah, they do.
Because now they're like, thanks Paul Hogan for making everybody think that we're just you.
Yeah.
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 Didn't Australia fund that?
I don't know. Somebody from Australia who listens, like, send us an email and tell us what you think about Paul Hogan. National hero versus...
We have some Australian listeners.
Yeah,
Australian
we do. That's what I'm saying. Send us an email, Australia.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on Paul Hogan.
And also, I think everybody in Australia is just either Paul Hogan or Steve Irwin's personality mixed together. That's all they but honestly, it's helped with the tourism. They joke about that. Australia's probably like hands... You know, as far as continents go, like regnant place you want to go to, if the bombs start going off, where do you want to hang out? And I've been there before. I freaking love Australia. I wish it wasn't so dang far away. I would go there all the dang time. It's like 17-hour flight from here, from the middle of the U.S.
Yeah.
It's a long flight. I love Australia. Shout out, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, we know that from like World Series of Poker. Remember everybody went in from that was from Australia? They know how to play their cards. Land of convicts. They're proud of it. They are proud of it. All right. So moving on. Groovy. All right. Moving on. So since last time we weren't able to get to your emails and reviews, we got a few to read. That's for sure. And sorry, we're a little bit of a backlog. Sorry. This one's even from August. Hey, to let you guys know, I just looked at that video game magazine you guys talked about, and it looks like something I would be into. So they ordered a year. Thank you so much. That was our sponsor.
Awesome, that's our actual real sponsor.
That's a real sponsor.
Like the legit sponsor, which is Old School Gamer Magazine.
Yeah.
And these are iTunes reviews too, by the way.
Actually, this one's an email.
Oh, is this an email?
Yep,
Okay,
it's an email from Steve from Minnesota. Sorry, I didn't say that from the get-go. We do have some iTunes reviews. We will get to those as well.
I'm jumping the gun.
Oh, no, that's okay. He did want to say he subscribed and ordered a year. Thank you very much for that little support, and of course supporting Old School Gamer Magazine, which is pretty fun. And it is, I found out it's $30 for 6 issues, which of course since 500 is a year, so it's $30 a year. Hopefully we said that last time. Oh, also you could get a digital version. I didn't realize the digital version was completely free. So the creator reached back out to us just so we could clarify.
Yeah, but if you like that, be cool. Buy the print version.
Yeah, buy the print version.
Say so it'll exist and be a thing.
Yeah. But it's just neat to offer the digital version for free. So I wasn't even aware of that. So anyway, he said that. So thank you, Steve from Minnesota.
And if you're going to be at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, they're going to be there.
Yeah. I was going to get to that. He wrote a different email, a couple down, but let me actually get down to that one then. Yeah, right, Adam, you are correct. Ryan from Old School Gamer Magazine, he's going to be at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which is this following weekend. So it'll be the weekend coming up. So if you guys are listening, please check out his booth. I don't have a booth number for you.
It's like, what, 18th, 19th, 20th, somewhere?
Yeah,
it's
correct.
Like
weekend. It's the weekend of the 17th, I believe.
I just got an email, and it's like, we seen you attended past cons. You coming this year pretty much?
If you guys don't already know, we try to go every other year.
Yeah,
but people,
this is our off year for Portland.
Yeah, people ask this our off year, but please, if you guys go, check out if Married Guy Gamer should be there.
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah, TJ will be there. Yeah, and so check him out. He probably has some of our shirts, and then also Old School Gamer Magazine. He's gonna have a booth. He was very gracious and offered some of the space, but we won't be there. So thank you very much for that email. But check him out and tell him he's a nice guy. Tell him we sent you to his booth or something. Yeah, it'll be. He'll probably have samples to give out. Usually that's kind of the way things go, or you can check out the magazine in person, but he will be at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Awesome. And then another one, email from John H. to the Video Game Dads. I just recently found your podcast, and I've been listening to it almost every day since.
Awesome.
I really enjoy hearing you guys talk about some of the old games, and I love getting to learn a lot of the classic stuff I've never heard of! ! The podcast is particularly timely because my wife and I are expecting a rainbow baby in less than a week. Ooh. I didn't look that up. Do you guys know what that means?
I have no idea.
Rainbow baby?
I have no baby.
Okay.
I have no what
shoot.
That is.
Well, I like it being a mystery.
It is. It sounds exciting.
Yes. Does that mean like Oh, maybe that means like you don't know what you. Oh, you don't know what you get at the end of Rainbow. In other words, you don't know if it's a.
There you
I don't
go.
know.
Nice way to put it together there.
I did
Benji.
just do that. Maybe that means you don't
Nice.
know what you're getting.
Or maybe you're completely wrong.
I could be completely wrong. Terrible joke. And I'll be living out the dad stuff for the first time. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're going to be finding out all this stuff we're scaring you about. I'm so excited, but I was wondering. But I was wondering how I deal with not having the time for hobbies, gaming being one of them. I really appreciated you guys talk about the most recent podcast, episode 48, on when you had your new baby with you and you don't care so much about the things that you're missing. I was totally encouraged by that. Keep up the good work. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, man.
We did mention that. It's like, you worry about, oh gosh, all these things it's going to take away.
So worried
I don't know.
about,
It's weird. I actually play more games. Like I play a higher number of games now than I did even before I had kids.
I can't say that, but
because before I would spend like I would just sink a ton of time into like one game, like a really lengthy long game.
Okay.
And now, like, it's not that I've given up games. I just play, like, my gaming tastes and habits have changed. Like, I play a lot of action, arcade, quick hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Pick them up, play them for 10 minutes. That's 15 minutes before bedtime.
Yeah, that's definitely where I've been.
That's how I game now. So it's not that like the gaming has gone away. It's just the way that I have to go about it has changed, and consequently the type of games I play have changed. But you get different habits and you get different tastes and likes, and you develop certain appreciations for things maybe that you didn't have before, just because.
I guess
of the
I
time
watch a lot
constraints.
more and everything.
Yeah,
like YouTube and
yeah,
different
sometimes-
outlets
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. YouTube or just talking with you guys. So
Yeah. Agreed. All over the board, and just the cup gets full because the kids get more fun to play with, and that kind of satisfies your need of doing something fun sometimes too. But yeah, the time to go to bed, we still kind of say that. Unless you have to go to bed early, people have jobs where they get up really early, but sometimes that little time.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm going to warn you up front. The
10 to
worst part
midnight.
of gaming with your children in the future,
Give them a fake controller.
Minecraft.
Yeah, you just
Terrible.
You and your old man shaking your fist at Minecraft. That's never going to end.
Yeah, man.
I knew
My
I
kid,
should've
he's
bought
always
some.
like, let's play Minecraft. And I'm like, okay, we'll play Minecraft.
Why don't we just play Lego? It's more 3D. Same
Yeah.
thing. I don't know. And another email, very nice. We'll keep her name silent just in case she didn't get any swag yet, but asking about a T-shirt and how I find the podcast and kind of a nice surprise gift or something. So that was really nice. We won't say much more about that in case whoever's listening isn't get tipped off by the names of them getting a T-shirt by their loved one. That's why you take care of your sigos. But yeah, just email us. But if you do want T-shirts, again, we replied back to that one.
Just hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/videogamedads.
Yeah, and send us a message there, and Shane will be able to give you that PayPal direct, and it's a great price for a great shirt.
Comfy. So good, man.
Yeah. All right. This next email. Hey, dads. Just wanted to let you all know, I really appreciated the refreshing nature of your podcast. I recently took up playing video games after sort of letting it go for a while. I'm a 43-year-old dad that needed to find a new/old hobby that was constructive and a good replacement for the bar stool or the bottle of beer. Nice. That's
That's
not a
definitely
bad
lot better.
advice.
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything to the waistline, that's for sure. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe that's a weird thing. I found
we are a low-cal podcast. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I meant eating your video games. I found that through digging up old games and systems, paying practically nothing for most of it, and subsequently finding and listening to your podcast. I was recently on a road trip fishing on the coast, listening to you guys for 4 hours each way.
Nice.
I'm currently on episode 31 or 32, and it was so good. Glad to hear that Lexi, and you spelled it right, by the way, even though you weren't sure, is doing much better, and Shane and his family made it all the way through. Yeah, I mean, looking back as the years go on, every time people go through, we're going to keep getting those emails.
It's crazy.
I know.
Such a crazy time, man.
Yeah, man. Yep. I'm currently playing Rayman. This is the cool thing. He's kind of saying, I like this. I'm currently playing Rayman Legends.
Yes!
Right.
Greatest game ever. I love that game. It's so
Yep.
good.
Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins on easy mode. Castlevania Vampire's
There is no
Kiss.
easy mode in Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. They call it that, but that's still not true.
A little Skyrim and a little The Reckoning while I have a few minutes to play. So very, even though you're kind of old gamer, you know what you're playing, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's
some
playing
good stuff,
the
man.
Skyrims. Yeah.
And get this, his wife is playing Mario Galaxy 2, It's like freaking great.
Fantastic game. Yes.
That's cool.
Tetris on the NES, and we play Trials HD together. It's like freaking. You guys sound like you have your own podcast. You guys.
No, we don't need the competition.
Oh, that's true.
Just keep listening to ours.
Yep.
So that'll work.
Or just beat.
That sounds way cooler than the bar stool. Sitting on the bar stool.
And then he says his daughter, who's 4 years old, is playing Super Mario Brothers, Sonic 1, and dabbling a little bit in Galaxy 1. For a 4-year-old, being able to, that's good, man.
Oh yeah, man.
It's hard to do all
See,
that.
when you play Galaxy, you can give the kid the other Wiimote and have him get the stars.
Check
for
the
it.
stars.
It's a good 2-player game with kids.
So he goes on to say, I started on the Commodore 64 and the Atari 7800. Didn't care for the Atari, but I did like the normal Atari games that everyone liked. Best friend had a Sega Master System, SNES, and NES. That's how we did it. You know, the friends had the other systems.
Yep.
Played those all the time. Later in life, got a PS1. Those rebellious years. Kind of talking about his whole kind of history about it. The soundtrack by Crystal Method for NO2. I actually do remember that. Yeah. I did love it. Takes me back to a different time. So his book club pick. Oh, I almost skipped that. Is I think it's called Nitrous Oxide. So N2O. For the PS1. Nice. For the video game book club pick. Sorry we didn't put that. We'll put that in for next time.
Yeah.
So it didn't get in this one, but we'll definitely put it in. I remember N2O for the PS1. Do you guys know what that is?
I've had it at the dentist.
Okay, gotcha. It took me a second. I was like, oh, they had video games.
And I think it made an appearance in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
I'm trying to think now.
Okay, so it is basically
I thought it was a PS2 game.
No, it's a PS1 game, and it's well, he kind of says it. It's a fractal tunnel shooting game. So do you remember that old Atari one that has the spin dial?
Oh yeah, Tempest, man.
Tempest.
Okay, so it's okay. Think Tempest, but you're in a car and the tunnel moves, or you move down the tunnel. So it's kind of like a mix of a racing game, a shooting game, and a circular kind of.
That's awesome.
rotating
So
tunnel.
it's like the tube levels from F-Zero GX.
Yes, actually, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's pretty cool. Great. We'll add it to the book club. Great choice there. Suggestion, y'all. And this is just kind of feedback. Don't apologize for going off subject. Yep.
Yeah, we never go off subject.
Yeah, but we do apologize for a lot. Or anything that offends or upset listeners, don't worry about it. He's probably getting up to that episode where we got all bitter that one time. Well, for good reason. But keep doing you, the way you are. What you do presented. You have 4 very specific and endearing personalities that talk about whatever you want within a certain bubble. And that is a reason why people like your podcast. You are normal people with normal problems, like being dads playing video games. And if people don't like them, nice. I know. Well, you can put in the beep. I loved saying that. So obviously, thank you for that. Thank you so much for being you. Reading your email, and that's from Chip from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Chip.
Cool.
Another email. Hey, dads, just wanted to say congrats on 50 episode. I enjoyed every one. This is from Nerdtron. So
Thank you, Nerdtron.
Hey, so
Thank
Tron,
you, man.
he's mentioning, and he's been, if you longtime listeners know, he's the one that does our dirty work for us when we realize we got to keep track of some of the stuff we're talking about.
We need some thumbs broke.
Yeah, but we send him some fun stuff. I think. And he's got a YouTube, so check him out, like Nerdtron64, I think. So he's got some package openings back in the day of us sending him stuff. He says, been busy with life. We're expecting our 3rd kiddo. I didn't know that.
Oh,
Good for
game
you.
changer, man. Now you're playing zone.
Yeah,
Yep.
zone, exactly.
Yeah,
Very
zone,
good.
Zone
Yep.
defense.
Yep.
You go from man to zone.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's
Oh,
tough.
man.
Here in a few months, I haven't had much time to really play anything lately, but listening to the show definitely helps scratch that gaming itch. Thanks for taking the time for the show, and I can't wait for the next episode 50. Nerdtron. Thank you, you and the wife
Yeah,
and the
thank you,
kiddos.
man.
Keep on keeping on. Head above water, man. Hi, video game dads. Mike from Texas here. Can't wait for your next episode. Hope you're all doing well. And the only reason he wanted to write in some new information. Most of the time, people talk about their YouTube channel, kind of don't always mess, but Mike's a longtime listener from Texas. He's into Saturn emulation. I think he had a back and forth with you. It's like called Chronos. It works well. Played some upscale Saturn Bomberman, Guardian Heroes without any issue. The core has been added to RetroArch. I don't know what any of this is, but he wanted to add something different to his game room. He designed Mario and Sonic Lego art. So I actually checked this out because I don't want to. So yeah, check it out. His YouTube is called The Education Assembly. He's just got a couple videos out, but he's basically like YouTube kind of showing how like you can take your Lego pieces and how to turn them into like the 8-bit.
Yeah, if it's a mashup.
Yeah.
You know, if you like Legos,
Yeah.
you like video games, boom.
We need to find something to do with these Legos. I guess.
Yeah, check it out. It seems family friendly. Awesome. Thank you for the email.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and then also we've got another one from his name goes by Rare Jordan. I discovered the podcast a couple months ago. I'm a stay-at-home dad with a 9-month-old, so I was able to get caught up fairly quickly. I also left a nice 5-star for you guys on Apple Podcasts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking forward to the new episodes. My pick for the book club is this is a first, guys. Days Gone for the PS4. Ooh. Yeah, interesting. I heard this came out. A lot of people talked on it. He says, it's a game I almost didn't pick up because
I've not played this.
Yes.
I haven't either.
He said he didn't pick it up because of the poor reviews, but it turned out to be one of my favorite games of all time. Keep up the good content. Great. So you got 2 to add, and I like the fact, Mr. Rare Jordan, it's a cool name, cool set, whatever. I'm sure that your name isn't that, just Jordan probably, but I'm glad that we got a PS4 game in here, and honestly, it's probably I've just seen footage, but like it was a game that was supposed to be amazing, and everybody dogged on it. So cool.
It looks good.
Yeah, we'll throw it in there.
Have you ever played Until Dawn?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about
times.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I was thinking about replaying that with the missus, for Halloween.
Oh yeah, and well, the new one, Man of Medan. Did you hear about this game?
I have
It
not.
came out on PS4.
It sounds like something you just made up.
Oh, yeah. No, Man of Medan flew under my radar. I just listened to some other podcasts. It's actually from the makers of Until Dawn.
Really?
It's basically a new Until Dawn.
Supermassive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually should play that. It just came out. It recently was on sale for like $30. It's been out maybe a month.
Physical?
Physical, yep.
Really? Wow.
It's got a weird look. Like you wouldn't think it's when you first look at it, it looks kind of like a Sedesco, like this came from Europe. It's a $30, $20. No, it's an Until Dawn game. They made a new one, and I've heard it's pretty dang good.
Right.
Yep, it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called Man of Medan. So yeah, then their naming nomenclature.
When you said the name of it the first time, I just thought you were having a seizure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's Man of Medan. I didn't cuss. Man of Medan. Man Medan. All right. Thank you for the emails, everybody. You can email us
thank you so much.
videogamedads at yahoo.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You got it. You nailed it. You nailed it, man.
Moving on to iTunes, we've got a few 5-star reviews. It was really nice, guys. We're up to 94. I don't look all the time. And we're really close to that 100 ratings, and we're really proud of that. That helps us be seen, helps us kind of move up. I kind of love that in our search bar, you have all these kind of hypey, big, 100,000 downloads, and we're not too far behind as far as being in the front page. So when you give us a 5-star review, that's your way of paying back. Of course, give us a review you think feel. If you don't feel we don't deserve the 5, then fine. But our average now has gone up to 4.9, which makes us really happy, considering you have a couple lower liars for having it be an average of 4.9. We feel really happy about that, and it makes us feel nice. And again, it helps us feel seen.
Yeah.
So our most recent one, we are in a basement, so if you hear anything, it's don't adjust your program. My wife is washing her hands upstairs, and she's probably like, get on. So our next 5-star review, this comes from Barbecue King 001. I wonder which
I already like this guy.
Yeah. Yep, I already like him. Hooked like Bassmasters 2000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Last summer, I was redoing my garage and needed a new podcast to listen to. I hooked up and binged through every episode and have listened to everything since then.
Wow.
Keep up the amazing podcast and can't wait till my kids get older and can listen too. Awesome.
All right. Here's a pro tip.
Pro tip.
There you go. So Bassmasters 2000 for the N64 has a gray variant. The normal cartridge is blue. There is a gray one.
Is there?
Okay.
So if you see the gray one, it's rare.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
On to the next.
All right, thanks. And also, thanks for the 5-star review. Appreciate that.
I'm sorry. I'm pushing my glasses back up my nose.
Next, iTunes, another 5-star review. Yank football fan.
2000.
Yank football fan. Dads Who Can Multitask was the title. I found these guys about a year ago and instantly connected with their passion for gaming and their love of their families. As a dad and longtime gamer, having a couple of guys who can speak about the world I live in builds a sense of community. It's such a down-to-earth podcast with no big corporate agenda. I love the old school gaming conversations and the nostalgia. Just a couple of dads talking about the things they love. Thank you very much. And again, we read all these. That's encourages you to put them out, so we'll read them, good or bad. The next one was this one from Rare Jordan, so he already sent us the email, but I'll read it. 5-star review. Thank you very much. If you're reading this, it's too late. If you're reading this, go ahead and listen to the podcast and get hooked like the rest of us. It's a high-quality podcast. They keep it fresh with new topics every episode while also maintaining a reliable episode structure. That's a fun... You've got some good wordage, man.
Yeah.
You probably like write sentences for a living. That's great.
sounds like a new back of the box.
I can. It's like, it's like, say, like, honestly, like our new thing, like, didn't we just waterboarding book? Wait, what was it? Shoot, we already forgot it.
Book club waterboarding.
Yeah, book club waterboarding.
Video game waterboard club. Dang it. We'll have to go back and listen to it. We already forget. Obviously.
We already forgot.
Yeah, do you want to write for us there, Mr. Rare Jordan? Anyway, he says, I love the quote-unquote book club segment, as well as hearing about the guys talk about their latest pickups. They also do a really good job of not talking over each other. Thank you. Everyone gets a chance to speak. It is true. I mean, all joking aside, that is something like when we were listening to podcasts and we try to, we really, and it's hard to do, like, because honestly, you accidentally do it, but we obviously realize we do it and we stop. But sometimes I'll listen to a podcast and 2 or 3 people will talk, and it's like, geez, you got a sword fight.
Everybody wants to hog that microphone.
Yeah. I say that, and I'm probably, I talk the most out of anybody, but I kind of got to do that since I'm kind of
the maestro of the thing.
in my way. But I always try to. So at least no one said like, "Hey, the guy who talks the most needs to shut up." I haven't heard that yet. But he says everyone gets a chance to speak. I've also listened to all the episodes thus far, and will keep listening. So it's nice to have a bunch now. Coming back and listening to all of them, being fresh, especially because we've been off our. Anytime we get off, like you guys hate it, we hate it too, because we know we lose listeners when we're not on a regular schedule. And we try to do every 3 weeks, and we can't even do that. It makes us feel bad. But then we've had a bunch of new listeners randomly, so thank you for
thank you
shouting it out. This last one, last one. K Boogie is another 5-star review.
K Boogie,
good content without overbearing nerd talk. Love the video game dads and all the clever segments like Handheld Holla, a segment where they talk about handheld video games. Again, these are kind of reviews, so for other people to read, that's why they're kind of a casual feel backed with great knowledge and nostalgia, plus dad pro tips. My favorite video game podcast ever. Wow, thank you. Thank you. The only downside is you got to wait 3 weeks for the next episode. P.S. I love the mini episode with Adam a while ago. It was a while ago,
awesome.
2.5 years ago.
I need to do some more of those.
Wouldn't mind more stuff like that. So that was nice because our last one that we kind of threw together, it's just like, when we lose that stuff and we kind of got to go off book, it's like either
I'm planning on after the baby gets a little bit older, I think I'm going to start doing more of that kind of thing.
That'd be cool, man. I like them.
Both audio and hopefully some YouTube stuff at some point. I've got some things cooking.
Good, great. Yeah, and we'll continue to try our best. Holidays are coming up. I know we're still in October, so hopefully we can keep on a pretty good schedule up until we get to holiday time. And now that we've done the last couple of years, I would just basically expect, like if we can, we'll try to go up to Thanksgiving, but then in between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year, maybe one episode total.
It's usually that's usually the roughest point for us.
Yep. So December, imagine us to go away, but we'll come back with a vengeance by January.
Back strong like bull.
Just because family stuff. Well, anyway, that was our main stuff. We love hearing those emails and getting ideas about things. So if you have any questions, comments, corrections, concerns, please email us and give us that 5-star review.
I'm a little concerned though after hearing the end of that.
Oh, what was that?
I think we need to up the overbearing nerd talk a little bit.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Let's kick it up a little bit.
Our new segment.
Overbearing nerd talk.
Our new segment, I have something to do. How do I say this nicely and walk away, right? Or whatever. The thing you want to do when people start, your eyes glaze over. Oh, gosh. That's the overbearing nerd talk. Yeah, not all are like that. There's other...
that's my side project.
there's other quality... And I would say like a dog. There's actually other, obviously, quality video game podcasts out there. We've recommended a few of them over the time, so they're not all like that. But there's a few where it's like when you hear one, it's like, how do you... I think that goes kind of into the next thing we might kind of talk about real quick before we go into pickups is like part of we really not to it's almost like I set this up, but a lot of our reviews recently are just kind of saying stuff like, you obviously don't life is full of all three of us we don't go into it because you don't need to hear that necessarily, but we've all been like going through some stuff. So why do you want to hear someone complaining when you've got your own stuff to complain about? We know everybody listening to this podcast has a story and has crud, and if you don't, it's probably because you worked really hard to minimize it. And that's what anybody kind of tries to do, but it still pops up. So we always try to keep our content not being too dark, and that's why I think when we have new things coming up, like the new Intellivision Amico, and when you have new things coming up, like some mini consoles that might have some game or missing a game or that kind of thing, outside of being lighthearted, you can tell the difference when people say, I want it this way, I want it that way. But like when you get beyond that and you're actually like
physically angry.
Well, no, you're trying to start beyond you're trying to start a revolution against it versus just kind of like, this might get views if I'm somewhat angry about it, but like legitimately, right? Or if people who are creating this thing, who have been around the industry for quite a while, like say a Tommy Tallarico, who know what they're talking about, have a passion for it, do want to sell a product in the future. So far, seem to be doing it right. He's not doing any crowdfunding.
Yeah, not crowdfunding at all.
Let's give this guy a chance. So that's why things like sometimes things come up where you kind of get this negative light of, collectors, we kind of got to have a brotherhood and sisterhood, right? We have a lot of lady listeners. I mean, more of a family motif of like, let's not bite the hand that's feeding you.
Just poop on everything that's coming out that's new or different, or just give it at least a shot. Like I've had people like the Polymega, man, and it's just like crumb on it the whole time. I'm like, just give it a shot, man. Or the Amico, give it a shot.
Well, give it a shot, meaning wait until you play it.
Wait till you play it at the very least,
Yeah.
See the good points in it, and then if it's bad, we could all poo-poo on it, We could do that later on. Let's all figure it out.
I mean, I really like obviously the retro gaming thing and hanging out with everybody that does it and like just being cool about it all and everything else. And really, my only gripe about the whole thing is just that there is a contingent out there that just likes to run everybody else into the ground. And it's like, man, we're just all here to have fun, just chill out, relax.
Yeah.
We got enough like real life stuff to deal with. Like, why bring that into here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just what we try to do. We don't try to
bring
add,
that.
no adding to the drama.
Yeah, exactly. There's a Smash JT video. He went to go see Tommy Tallarico, which was kind of nice, and I like that. It was kind of like it's again, if you're on YouTube, if you're on not, like I've seen Tommy Tallarico's house and stuff before because he's been living
like
in the same place.
Cribs or something.
Basically, and
just let me interject here. Just for anybody that doesn't know, Tommy Tallarico is the guy that's making the Amico.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I guess we did.
He's
video game veteran. Made Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, Made Earthworm Jim has done a lot of early video game music composure
tons of music.
Before it was a thing because it didn't take much memory, right? Because you didn't have much time to play. You had the graphics, you had the colors, you had the gameplay, and music was kind of an afterthought because you had such limited space. Yep. And actually, he was one of the people that initially was said, actually, we can find a way to cheat the system and make it so you could borrow more memory without taking away from the game, and you know how to do it. And this is early like technology stuff. And he's a musician, that kind of thing. So he has pedigree there was what I'm getting at. And he's the head of Intellivision. He's selling a product, but also if you do your homework on the guy, you'll find that he just has passion for gaming. And I think if he's creating something new and kind of skipping ahead, the Intellivision Amico is now kind of this new, it's a gaming system. It's not going to come out for about another year. I think October.
It's 1 year away. Yep.
And there's been hints at it for quite some time. Yep. And recently some, press that's coming out, it's going to be kind of a game for all. It's not a hardcore system. It's not going to replace anything, but I do kind of think it's for maybe some of our audience.
I think it's perfect for our audience.
Yeah. And that being said, we can't recommend it because there's not pre-orders out. We don't know. And let's say, it ends up being a system with all these problems and things like that. We're not getting to that yet because what's happened is we haven't had a chance to play it yet, right? And a lot of people haven't. Yeah. And what I'm also kind of getting at is, this is something that it's trying to be something new and something different, and really the take is, and I
simple, and fun.
In time to I probably could email them and get more info about it. But what I've kind of found is it is going to be simple. It's a way of, we don't communicate with one another. Yep. We have all this technology in front of us, but it makes us more disconnected than ever, right? We have these phones in our pockets that technically could teach all of us how to be a physician to a degree, or teach all of us how to be any kind of specialist, or you could take architecture classes on your phone if you wanted to, right? You could learn any trade, you can learn any language, but there's certainly people that are trying to do that and better themselves. But most of us, including myself, and all of us, hop on the old flip on the Facebook, flip on the picture. Going through these lives, when I look at people who flip and go through it, you're just kind of looking at these kind of simple things. And I think I kind of agree. Like, it would kind of waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
I realize, like, I waste a lot of time on the phone and things like that. So getting into this without turning this weird Debbie Downer is the idea of in this new Intellivision Amico. Amico means friend.
Yeah. In Italian.
Yeah, it means friend in Italian. So it's a system that comes out in a year. It's not going to be expensive from what I hear, meaning it's going to be under $200. Yeah, $159, $179. And there's going to be games that are included with it. The controller is going to be intuitive. It's kind of going on the idea that the Wii was a system that came out and a lot of people bought it and played it. And a lot of people only bought it for, say, like Wii Bowling. Yeah. But also when people bought it for Wii Bowling, they still had fun with it, right? They didn't do other stuff. It kind of created... Yeah.
Sort of like that. So there's sort of the minier stuff of that. This everybody could play type of deal.
Well, it's trying to bring back couch co-op where you're actually...
trying to.
I mean,
play
the golden age of. I mean, I'm the old man here, but you know, like all my best video game memories are not of me like beating games by myself at home with nobody around. Like literally, like all of my best memories are sitting on the couch with some buds. You know, just not the beer, but like the people.
Right.
And, you know, but just hanging out, like having a good time, being with your friends, and just accomplishing something together, doing something competitive together, or just, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't know what the Amico is. I don't know what it's going to end up being. I don't know whether or not it's even something I'm going to necessarily... I think I'll probably get it, you know, based on what I've heard. But the point is what it's trying to do sounds like a really good thing.
Yeah. And you said it earlier, like you're changing style of games that you play now. You want games that are shorter bursts, not so long, epic stuff. You know, this sounds right up the alley. And anybody could pick it up and play. It would be fun. You know, short burst, a little game. Perfect. I would love that. Toss this over to Lexi or Deacon. Here you go. Let's play this. Boom. For 15, 20 minutes and then move on to the next thing or move on to the next game.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, man.
Yeah, and I think you said, cool. You know, there's physical stuff there. Might be limited edition stuff. So there's stuff for collectors, not and other people. But I just
it's got me interested. I mean, it's just it's so cool to have something else other than the big guys. Just it's something different that we could think about at least. You know.
Yeah, like
and whether it you know what it does.
And
you know?
So it's not also, you know, the other points to think. It doesn't seem to be, as of right now, it's not crowdfunded, right? Yeah. It's already at the point where it's going to come out. I think. Again, the news is kind of spotty. They did release a recent press release that I kind of looked at, and you know, some of the preview stuff, I will agree a little. I liked seeing some of the hype vids because they're waiting for it, and they came out with it, and it does feel like a little disjointed because I've heard Tommy Tallarico speak, and I think he's great and very charismatic. Yeah, and you know, he did kind of a thing where he's in front of a plant, and my brain always thinks like, oh, never stand in front of a plant when you're talking about something, because
ask Zach Galifianakis.
No, it reminds me. No, it's just as a promo team, but they have a lot of good people on his crew, and the people that they have it in television now are people who are promoting other concepts. The thing is, this is going to be a legit thing.
Yeah, people have actually. I mean, this is again. This is kind of like Polymega. Or whatever, in a way that, you know, people have actually played the hardware, they've seen the hardware, like the hardware, the software, like it is a thing, it actually exists. And people who are somewhat reputable have gone out and
played on it
and actually, you know, said, you know, it plays pretty good, feels pretty good. And it's not a final product yet either. I mean, but I think that is a difference between something like, say, the Atari VCS, and if you want to know anything about the VCS, just get on Facebook because that thing looks like a dumpster fire at the moment, honestly. But you know, it's been going on for a long time. They're taking a lot that from a lot of people. And
I hate that attaches these systems with that.
But,
you know,
there's like, still not any real working prototype, or at least we're not sure if there is.
I know
all these kinds of things.
The new Coleco, but then you have your, you know, the Polymega, which seems stand up so far.
But the problem is you have these things compared to things that have been vaporware to this, but it's that one thing that makes everybody totally negative on everything.
Exactly.
And I think that's a mistake.
And I think that we should watch it. So, you know, just not everybody's like that, and you know, if people listen. I not like Tommy Teller, might or might not listen to this or whatever. But at the end of the day, you when you hear things like people saying, "Oh, we're famous, we don't know who Tommy Tallarico is." If you're in video games and you don't know who that guy is, or you're claiming that you know more than him, or something like that, like, you know, that's why our podcast is kind of different. And we kind of understand that there's people out there who should have respect, and maybe should do some homework before we do some hot takes. We do, like the new Switch Lite, we'll say, oh, we might like it, we might not. Yeah. The Nintendo Cardboard stuff came out. It ended up kind of being more like a social experiment. Yeah. It was in a time of place, but did anything to change or rock anything? Probably not, but we talked about it for a good long time. It was fine to talk about. And, the Amico might kind of come and fly away, but it seems to have enough behind it. And if you actually research it, it sounds exciting. Yeah. It sounds perfect for people who just want to kind of get into it and have another generation of the Wii, because the Wii thing's kind of come and gone. And it's over and it's not coming back. But that being said, I was at a GameStop. I didn't tell you guys this. I was recently at a GameStop for whatever reason, and I'm in there, and no joke, like literally, they had to have been 70 years old, like legit older people, right? Yeah. They were in there and said, oh, I have this new game box. And it felt like he said that exact thing. I had this new game box, him and his wife. And his wife was just they were just so stereotypical, like off a commercial, old people in a GameStop. It felt so weird. It felt like a unicorn. Like,
I've never seen that.
And they weren't buying things for their grandkids or grandson. They were buying it from themselves. They were trying to get into it. So they had the PS4, and he kind of said, literally, this is word for word, I wasn't too big of a fan of the shooting one, but I think I want to get in a car and drive around a track. And he was telling the game, and I was like, oh my God, please don't upsell him or tell him anything stupid or whatever. I'm going to save this old person.
Racing wheel,
because this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I'm going to save this old person from the $60 online pass.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. So he starts talking about it, and of course he asks PS4. Anybody who knows the library, like actually PS4 racing games that are simple, there's not many if you really think about it, because a lot of them are street racing, all this other stuff, and Gran Turismo, unfortunately, is so complicated and so frustrating for a guy like this. And because even the wife would say, oh, we're just getting into it. They're dabbling. They're literally in their 70s, hadn't probably played that many games before, and randomly want to pick up video games in their golden twilight of their life.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so the end of that story was funny, because I knew Need for Speed Payback is maybe the closest thing they can do. It's only $17, so I pointed him to that way while the other guy was there. And but when he asked about, now does it have to connect to the internet? And then the guy went over and tried to grab a PSN card and stuff. And luckily, even the old guy realized, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be on the internet or something. But they were legit probably like 75 years old, and they left the store with Need for Speed Payback, and I'm really hoping he knew how to play it and installed it. But what I'm getting at is, like, honestly, if the Amico existed, and let's say it was cool or whatever, it was 10 years ago, I would have been like, as the guy was leaving, there's this thing that came out. Like, maybe there is a demographic for this kind of thing. And it's not us. It's not the people who listen to this podcast. It's maybe a single mom that wants to be able to play something with her kid and knows nothing about video games, let's just say, or a single dad, that also wants a barrier of entry that's a lot easier. Because basically, even the Switch, to be honest with you, imagine not knowing any electronics. You guys for your grandson, you save up a bunch of work checks, and you don't even know how to hook this thing up. Yeah. No, this Amico thing seems really simple, right? Not just this, anything else. It's just what I'm getting at is there's a lot of good story to this. Yeah. If there's people out there kind of flaming this, that does kind of grind my gears a little bit. No, so it was nice. Shout out to that Smash JT guy. I liked his video about that, and then just giving things a shot and all the nice emails we had. I think there is something about, like, let's make sure we don't bite our own heads off here. And we keep things like nice, light, and fun.
Yeah, give everything a shot.
Yeah. So, moving on, we can either do our handheld hollers and pickups. What do you guys say? Which would you rather do?
Let's do some pickups.
All right, let's do some pickups. All right, Adam, what have you been picking up lately?
I've gotten a few random Switch games, because I'm always getting a few random Switch games. Because that's basically all I buy now, Switch games.
Physical or digital?
Yes. I only buy digital ones when I'm like, I gotta play that one. Like, I can't wait to see if Limited Run's gonna do it a year from now or whatever. Yeah. So I already mentioned Fighting Street or Fighting Rage or whatever you call it.
Yep, you said that, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it's called. FIGHT''N. If you like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, if you like old Streets of Rage.
Pick that bad boy
I'm sure it'll go on sale at some point, but that game's awesome.
You said it was pretty cheap.
Yeah, it was $20, I think, whenever it first came out, but I'm sure it'll be 10 or 15 or whatever on sale. At some point before too long.
Pretty quick.
But I played that with my kid. I played it with Shane. Everybody likes it. Good game. Doesn't really count as a pickup, I don't guess. It's not like a thing I actually own. But I'm feeding the dark side, getting DLC only stuff. But I've kind of gotten like cool hardware like here recently, and I think maybe that's the bulk of my best gains, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So the first is that a couple of months ago, I've not talked about this on the podcast, but there's a company called Analog, right? And a lot of people who are into retro gaming know Analog because they made the NT Mini. Yep. Mm-hmm. They made the NT and the NT Mini, and then Sega. The Mega SG and the Super NT. So they make FPGA systems. We talked about them a lot on the podcast, and I own basically all that stuff because I love it. It's great. It's amazing. But before they did that, they actually made consoleized Neo Geo systems where they took original Neo Geo hardware and they put them into a wooden box, which sounds kind of dumb until you realize these boxes are like sweet mahogany. They look so cool. And so my biggest cool pickup recently has been that I actually got my hands on a consoleized Neo Geo.
Oh, that's cool, man.
In one of these mahogany wooden boxes.
Wow. That's legit.
And so it's like a piece of really nice furniture that happens to play the most powerful games ever created.
So many megs right
so
there. So many megs in that mahogany.
So much giga
mahogany
power.
megs.
I mean, or not this one, but I have two. My wedding ring was like wood grain. I got two, right? So I got like two to play with, but I freaking love wood.
Yeah, dude, it's cool, man. Wooden consoles are the bomb.com. They need to make more of them.
Hold a second, is this...
The vacation movies wouldn't be the same without that car.
Yeah.
Is there a... You're only missing one analog system then, right?
The only one I do not have is an NT.
NT, right? Yeah.
Or an NT Mini. I don't have either one.
And in turn, I don't have any.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of the scale.
But I like the analog system so much. I have a Mega SG that I play. I've got another one sealed in a box. I've got a Super NT that I play. I got another one sealed in the box.
You gotta keep them back, man.
That's what I'm saying. I've got Doomsday. Like I don't have Doomsday systems for everything, but I have analog Doomsday systems. So those ones are.
I think you're covered for 100 years.
I'm hoping, but yeah, man. Like when the ones I have fail, I've got backups. That's how much I like them.
And you'll trade them for like food and water.
Maybe I'll be like, if you give
I'm
me,
starving to
like
death. Forget about
if
it.
you teach me how to fish, I will give you this thing that you can't plug in anymore. But yeah, man, the analog systems. I mean, I like them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I've got that. I've got to get my hands on it. I'm thinking at some point they're going to remake the NT.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
So I haven't, because the bananas expensive. They're like $1,000 on eBay or whatever. So
it's insane.
Yeah. So I'm not paying that for it, but eventually I will have the whole analog.
The guy from Analog, this last Portland Retro, the one before, gave Adam Core like just one, just as you were walking by.
Oh, really?
Like, I have this to review. Because, we're in the wrong business here.
We are in the wrong business.
We are not good at the YouTube, so if you see our YouTube videos, they're okay, but they're a little like, editing, schmediting.
Yeah.
Editing, schmediting.
One cut. That's how we roll.
One cut. Failure up. Even this last one of this.
Nah, man, it's YouTube by the seat of your pants. This isn't even work or it's not.
Yeah. I'm an 8-bit. You won't even see me on my videos. It's just so pixelized. It's so rough.
Anywho,
sorry, guys.
So I got that. I got this thing called the NVIDIA Shield, which is it's just a streaming box. It's an Android streaming box. It's basically a cell phone.
Yeah.
Without the cell capabilities, but you plug it into your TV, and it's a 4K streaming device. And what makes it cool is that if you're a PC gamer, is that you can game stream. If you have an NVIDIA video card, there's an NVIDIA Shield, you can stream your PC computer games to your television through your home network.
Okay.
And so you can play any of your PC games on your TV over your home network with an Xbox controller or whatever.
All right.
So it's like legit cool. So it turns your PC.
I watched it for a little bit. It was pretty cool.
You turn your PC into this like home media entertainment center that you could just beam to your TVs around your house and play on any TV.
Cool.
And it does the same thing like PS TV did, back when it came out, except it like works. And it's like really, really good. It's like amazingly good. I bought one. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. So I got on Facebook Marketplace and got another one cheap, locally from a guy. So now I have one upstairs, one downstairs, and then my PC on the main room or main floor. So then I got my PC.
Dart it anywhere.
Then I got my PC all over the house. I love it. And the other thing is, the people keep talking about Stadia, Stadia being the streaming box that Google's going to release and everything else.
Yeah.
The Shield does all the crap they say the Stadia
That's what I was about to say. It was pretty. That's what I asked you when I seen it. I was like, isn't this the same thing Stadia is supposed to be already?
They have Game Stream where you can play all these modern, brand new games, high-end games over the internet with NVIDIA's computers in a warehouse someplace doing all the processing for you and beaming it to your television. I mean, granted, you got to have a good internet access point for such a thing. But Stadia already exists. It's the NVIDIA Shield. Yeah. Plus, it does a bunch of other stuff. So it does anything you can do on any Android device. So you can download all kinds of apps and programs and do all kinds of things.
Cool.
So it's legit.
So it sounds like something really good for, say, someone who doesn't have room for a game room.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's awesome. A very good thing for somebody that doesn't have room for a game room. So there's that. I mean, there's been kind of, random hodgepodges of games and things. I've mostly been into getting Saturn imports lately. So I finally picked up like a heavy hitter I've been after for a while because I don't do that much eBay. I hardly ever do eBay, but this is one that I'm just not going to get unless I do eBay.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I got Radiant Silvergun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shooter for Saturn, relatively cheap.
Yeah.
And
please, Polymega, come out.
Yeah, I know. So I finally have Radiant Silvergun. I got the Salamander collection or the Life Force collection, which is Japanese.
Yeah.
Shoot 'em up collection kind of thing.
Life Force.
I got Thunder Force 5, got Gunbird, so I got all these cool Saturn shmups. Yeah. So or shooters, as Bithead would call them. But I'm really excited about all those. They're cool pickups, the stuff I've been after for a really long time. I love Saturn. Saturn is the thing right now. I don't really know why, but it's just like I know it's hyped and all that, but the other big Saturn thing I acquired recently, in anticipation of the Polymega, kind of, but I finally got Peasant Dragoon Saga as well.
Oh, cool!
Which is kind of a heavy hitter.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
I got that about a month and a half or two ago now, but yeah. So my Saturn collection is strong with the Force at the moment. Yeah, I probably won't keep that game forever just because I'll sell it because it's expensive. But
sure. Be nice to get on the old hard drive.
But those are my highlights.
Awesome. I'll go next real quick.
Yeah, you want to go? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first thing, if you do check out our YouTube at Video Game Dads, I was part of a PS3 collector group just because met a lot of friends through that, and a friend of mine, we'll call him TJ, from Australia, sent a package, and that arrived earlier today. And so you can check out what was in there, but I'll just tell you now. So he is actually trying to start up a barcade in old Australia. And he's a listener, and a big thank you shout out. Like we've given each other little gifts and stuff, but he sent me a whole package, and he was kind of. It's been a long time because he's been moving and everything else, and he showed me some of these things. So I really like niche, fun things for systems that don't kind of come out. I like
this is really
Kelsey
cool.
of the other group. Like you like things that are one-off. Norm's recent. He was at Belton. He should have told me he's like 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
He did a video of the Game Boy fishing thing.
Yeah.
And so the PlayStation 1, if you guys remember, and a lot of people like Radical Reggie, used this when he was on deployment and stuff. When he used a PS1 screen, he would like hide it and play. So the PS1, you'd have the system and the screen. I always thought it was very like Dick Tracy. It was very future to have a screen, a flat screen attached to your like console.
Yeah.
And they made one for GameCube, and I have that. They have PS2, but actually PS3 of all things, because they have them for PS4. They don't make any, right? Not really, and not anybody knows about, except Hori made some officially licensed ones in Japan, and they are really hard to come by and really hard to even search for, and a lot of internet doesn't have much information about them. And so me and a bunch of other niche like collectors, I knew he'd pick these up, but he sent these to me as kind of a surprise, and I opened them up.
Sweet,
and those are the big things from there, but I could talk about the other small things. So I picked those up basically as a very, very nice gift. So they're kind of fun little PS3 screens, the white and the black one that you can hook up to your PS3. So it's just neat to kind of have that and be able to play on the go. It's just really, really awesome thing, and you can hook up anything to it, I guess. But it's fun to have that since I'm a big fan.
It sits right on there flush.
Yeah, now you can play PS3 in your Miata.
Yeah. It's just it's funny to just have something where it comes. I didn't get the joke. What?
Nothing. I just I don't know. There's some bad dudes in Miatas. I just think it's funny.
Oh yeah, who like?
Sorry, any listeners that are dudes that own Miatas.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't make fun of nobody's Miata.
It's not a bad 50-50. It's it's for a little sports car. I heard it's pretty good, and they're kind of reliable. But anyway, yes, I hear you. It does. It's kind of Miata-ish. He also sent me a Dark Souls kind of limited edition. It was in a store. They didn't make very many of them, so it was kind of a one-off. And also some awesome PlayStation coasters.
Those are.
And he actually kind of said like that'd be. He kind of sent it because he didn't have much room. It's kind of a flat thing, but he said. It'd be good for you guys in the podcast to kind of just while you're doing the podcast to have this around. He thought it would like fit in very well. So that's such a gracious little gift. So thank you so much.
Super rad.
Yeah, those little coasters are the coolest. They're little game cases.
Yeah, they look like a PlayStation
like
game
little
case.
half-size game cases.
Yeah, they're made by Numbskull, but they were only sold in Australia. So freaking awesome!
Yeah,
like little PlayStation coasters that look like the games, not just like symbols or the other stuff, which are still really awesome. But yeah, I've got a lot of fun little gaming coasters. And he sent a couple other things in there. Definitely check out the video. But thanks so much. Like blew me away. Just nice, just expensive stuff to send. He says we're even, but I don't think so. I think he's way ahead on that one. Other random pickups, since I'm getting into the 3DS, a lot of the Zelda games are really cheap. Pick those up. Castlevania Circle of Moon, or the newest one for PS4, was on sale randomly. Not the remake, but the remake of the old one. You know how they released two games, and the one that was supposedly limited run only. Limited run sells stuff at Best Buy. Yeah. Now if I hear that, like the new Tokyo Beat 'em Up Girl, or what Tokyo Beat Girl, Tokyo
River
City Girls, River City Girls. I was going to pick up, and then I realized like. They're going to do it for Best Buy. So I'd rather wait 4 months and get it for half the price. Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing that they do, but anyway, so I'll definitely pick up River City Girls from Best Buy since it'll be easier to get and shipped and everything like that. Did I talk about Finny and the Seven Wonders last time? You and I talked about it. It's a fishing game.
Did we?
Yeah, so it's a PS2 game where the cover of it just
definitely.
And then it's like, how do you see a fishing game like this?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. And it's basically an adventure game. It's not where you're catching fish, but you are the fish.
Yeah.
And it's like its own, and it's actually
before.
very good. It's called Finny the Fish and the Seven Wonders. It's a Natsumi game.
Yeah.
Never heard of this thing. It's freaking cool. It's more for kids and stuff, but if you have a PS2 randomly or something like pick up this game. It's really kind of fun. It's like cartoony and it's like Echo the Dolphin if it turned a little more Elmo-ish, I guess. I don't know. It's not bad. It's got really fun voice acting and stuff. I've never heard of this thing. And I was like, Shane, look, it's a fishing game I like. And then we bonded and had some tea. No, we didn't do any of that. Another pickup I steal from Adam because he didn't mention it, but Arcade 1-Up. I'll just mention it.
Oh, yeah. This is the future pickup.
Yeah, we're going to get it tomorrow. So the Ninja Turtles is supposed to come tomorrow, but it's the 4-player Arcade 1-Up. It's the
Jelly.
It's the Jelly. Yeah, it's the small one, so it's not it's not.
It's not for realsies, but it's close enough.
Yeah, it's not for realsies, but it looks like the old cab, and
it's cool, man. I don't care.
It's got the little riser.
They did it right.
Yeah.
Except for their music, but.
Yeah, so it'll have a little speaker, and it also has light up marquee, right, and the speaker.
I'm not sure about the light up marquee part.
Okay, but it definitely has an integrated speaker now up in the top, not in the bottom. And it comes with the riser.
Yeah, the screen's supposed to be upgraded from the old screens.
Yeah, and you can hook up any speaker to it because it has an external speaker wire. So if you wanted to hook up like a different speaker, you could. But basically, that's coming and supposedly coming tomorrow. So that's worth me putting on the Twitters, or we'll definitely put it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I really hope it comes tomorrow because I have a day off and I work on the weekend, so that way I can actually like put it together. It takes a while to put those suckers together.
Man, it's the IKEA arcade. I love it.
yeah.
That's exactly.
They work well. That Mortal Kombat, it's super legit. It's amazing. A lot of fun, and you can play with the kiddos and stuff like that. So that's another one I'm pick up. Those are most of my pickups recently, and as far as only playing, even though we're not doing just Rocket League, it's a lot of fun. Barely get to play it. but I'm still just kind of going back to Rocket League. So if you play,
are you playing on Switch or PS4?
I'm playing on PS4, but now that I got the new Switch grip, I forgot to mention this. So shout out to Satisfy. They gave me one for free, not at all. There's this gaming grip. So the big problem I have with the Switch is it doesn't feel like it's meant for anybody above a little kid. It's hard to hold in handheld mode. I've tried to play games in handheld mode, it just doesn't quite work. I played Odyssey, and like I know you guys have been loving the Switch. You guys play it so much more than me.
Yeah.
Since I got this grip, I've been playing my Switch. Good. And I upgraded to the new Switch, right? I talked about that last time, but now that I'm playing it, the battery life is great. I played for like 5 nights in a row before I go to bed, playing in bed. This is not something I've done. But the grip is kind of offset, and it is really made by Satisfy. So the company is Satafye. They started out kind of as a Kickstarter, and they make a case for the oversized Switch and the handheld. But what I found is like it's kind of expensive, like $60 or something. But you can go to the actual Satisfy website, and he has clearance stuff because he upgrades the case and the Switch and very micro nuancy. This is someone who's kind of doing premium producty type stuff for this grip. And it is so comfortable. I can now play the Switch, and it doesn't feel like I'm playing like a kid thing. You can't do it docked, but the case it comes with, you could get it in a bundle. And this is a pro tip. If you go to the website, you go to their clearance section, he upgrades the case like 3 times a year, and every time he upgrades it, he clearances out the old stuff. So I got that bundle that has the case, the grip, Joy-Cons, also a way to charge it so you can power grip it inside it. Shipped, it was like $30 for all that, where normally the case itself would go for that, not the grip. So anyway, it's been a way to make the Switch tolerable for an adult. And also like safe and very premium and stuff. I had you guys hold it. What did you guys think of it?
I liked it. It was more comfortable.
It
makes it more solid.
Yeah,
the Joy-Cons, wiggly a little bit, so
made
that more solid.
It feels like you're holding a controller. So I've been playing that, and another pick. Oh, I bought one game. We didn't a Neo Geo game online.
What'd you pick?
I bought the worst Neo Geo game, I guess, because I've been playing. You know how you can play the old NES games and Super NES games on the Switch. Via the download thing, I think the online whatever. I've been going back and playing Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
And I've been loving it. I've actually on my Switch for the last couple hours just like playing Tecmo Bowl if I can. It's just so fun. It feels great. My hands don't get cramped. So then I'm looking through the eShop and I'm like looking at stuff. I was on Baseball Stars for the 100th time. I love that game. And then I saw another one. I was like, oh, Football Friend. So Football Frenzy for the Neo Geo, I thought was an arcade football game. I used to play Super High Impact, and I just felt like, I'm so into playing arcadey, and it is so bad.
Really?
Football Frenzy is so almost unplayable. And okay, if you think Football Frenzy is the Neo Geo football game, it came out kind of, I think, before real football arcade games. And if you think, it's developed in Japan, it ends up playing a lot like rugby, which then you realize like, this game has it wrong, because at first when you play it, you don't know what the buttons are in A and B and C and D, and I'm learning through it. It takes a while. I'm thinking it's just me, and then finally when I learn how to play the game, and they do running stuff, and there's so many laterals. You push a button and it makes you lateral all the time. They literally made a rugby game.
Oh wow!
And it's just like almost impossible to play, and there's like no. It's the worst football game I've ever played. It's fine. It was only $7.99, but I thought like Neo Geo does, and you gotta have great sports games. Dude. Football Frenzy is so bad.
You gotta hit that clearance bin, man. Of that.
Yeah, if you want to play good Neo Geo sports games,
Neo Turf Masters.
Neo Turf Masters is the pinnacle. Yeah. Yes, but the soccer games actually.
Yeah. Soccer games.
Yeah, the soccer games are surprisingly good.
I've heard good things, and I just never played Frenzy, and it looks good. Shot. So the graphics look good, but it's like dog crap, and it's so inconsistent. And you can't jump off the line, and it's funny if someone blocks your pass, ends up the ball has physics like a basketball or a volleyball. Yeah, so it like ends up being super bouncy, and everybody blocks throws as if they're blocking kicks, and there's so many laterals, and all the plays basically play like you're playing rugby. It's garbage. It's pretty bad. But all right, pickups there, Shane. What do you got?
I did some trading locally. I had a few pickups, I guess. I've been sort of on a PS1 long box kick. So, few of them were PGA Tour 96, NHL Face Off, little Primal Rage. Really cool box. I like that one.
Awesome. Primal Rage has the best move in all of gaming.
The fart.
Yeah.
Triple Play 97. Jumping Flash though, man. It's a really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was really happy to get Jumping Flash. That one I
Jumping
did.
Flash. I remember that game was jaw dropping when I played it back in the day.
That's actually
I
on
never
the
had that as a
PlayStation
kid.
Classic.
It is on the Classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's it for that. But then I also did a Facebook trade with somebody, and this was pretty cool to get.
Yeah.
Is I got a Winning Post, so rare Sega Saturn game.
Whoa.
Well, it's horse racing, so
It is horse racing,
It is
yeah.
horse racing, but it's something to add to our Polymega buddy. We're Polymega buddies now, so we're just gonna be trading games and doing that. This one I'm really excited to get Decathlete. So pretty much like Summer Games, just button mash, but it has like Virtual Cop graphics.
No, I've heard good things.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited to play this. Like super jacked. It'd be a good party game.
Yeah,
so.
like Olympic games.
I love
randomly, like, because I played Nagano 98 back on my PlayStation 1, and I know it came out for 64 as well. Great memories with that game.
Yeah.
I rebought it. In fact, it's like bobsled. I learned how to do curling. I learned how to do bobsledding. I think I've mentioned this on the podcast. It feels familiar. So
Yeah,
sorry.
randomly I always just play, like, as a kid I would always pick up summer games, track and field, because I just love the button mashing. I mean, my friends would always just go toe to toe at that. So the 100 meter, man,
it's fun.
I was always breaking our fingers over that.
That's awesome.
And then Rain Man on Sega Saturn. So that's all I've gotten.
Rain Man.
Yeah,
Rayman.
Oh, Rayman.
Yeah,
oh,
sorry, I said Rain. Yeah,
no,
sorry,
you said,
I did say that. Sorry.
No, you said the right thing. Probably, I just heard it as like isn't that Al Pacino?
No,
that's
Dustin Hoffman.
That's Dustin Hoffman and
BVD, Cincinnati, Ohio, Judge Wapner.
It's the adult version of The Wizard.
I guess it kind of is, except that instead of playing Mario 3,
he's playing cards.
I never have thought of it this way. Yeah, but it is the Wizard. But instead of the Wizard,
you never thought about that?
Instead of Mario 3,
As soon
they're going to cheated card games in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I never thought of that.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
It's good.
Man.
And then the part where they climb in the back of a hostess truck to like do their version of getting on a train like a hobo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they climb in the back of a hostess truck and they get out and have all these host bars. When I was a kid, I thought like, there's nothing better than that. Like, out of all the things that could happen, like, you're left in the theme park overnight. Even as a kid, I was like, well, the rides wouldn't work. There's no operators there.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're back in a hostess truck. You just eat your way out of it.
You're going to be like, after the apocalypse, you're going to be like Woody Harrelson in Zombieland.
Yeah.
I mean, snowballs.
I'm on my way to eating better now with the kiddo coming. That's part of like eating healthier. But I've thought about, like, do you ever see the end caps with the hostess things and stuff like that? Real quick, round table, like, I don't ever buy those very much, right? We were talking the oatmeal cream
Expensive,
pie.
Man.
We're talking, no, they're 99 cents. Oh,
No.
Little Debbie, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Little Debbie.
Okay,
Little Debbie.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
real quick.
Okay.
Little Debbie, like, as a kid, those were always awesome. And now, like, I don't buy them. They're just kind of junk food. But, like, the Swiss rolls, what's your guys' favorites? Round table, the trees, the chocolate trees? You
The
guys
little, I got two favorites.
Okay.
Man.
One is the Star Crunch because it's this abnormal, unusual space-like substance
Okay.
that no one can explain.
Is it kind of chewy?
Yeah, it's got like Rice Krispies in
Oh,
it.
yeah,
But
it's
it's
Yeah.
like this,
amazing.
It's like this morass of like chocolatey, like caramel, like gunk. I think it's like
Yeah, if you bite it and you spread it out,
I think it's a byproduct of
you
some
have like
other.
a caramel fur on
Yeah,
it.
it's like a
great.
byproduct of some other treat.
Okay.
that they just put Rice Krispies in.
So you like the Star Crunch?
Just
All right.
because it's like nostalgia. I used to eat those when I was a kid.
I still eat them.
Yeah.
I still
But
eat
yeah,
all
the
that.
Star Crunch. And then the other one would have to be the little white Christmas trees. The little Christmas
Right.
trees.
Oh, Christmas tree time? Yeah.
Yeah, like a
they
little
have that-
cake.
Yeah, they got that little like that thick icing stuff on them, and
Yeah.
the little bits of stuff. Yeah, but the little cakes. the
So
little-
I like the Swiss rolls because if you're very delicate, you can take out the outer layer of the chocolate of the Swiss roll because it's like a foam, and then the outside is covered in chocolate.
It's like
and
a
you can
foam.
Yeah, it's like a foam on the inside.
you
Yeah.
can you can like peel off the outer layer and just slightly eat that, and then go. It's so funny I'm talking about this because it's not like I've had any recently, but I don't know why. But the oatmeal cream pie is great. They sometimes make the
that one's
chocolatey
good.
cream pie, and then they have variations on your white Christmas tree.
yeah, there's like
bunch of those.
several. Yeah,
Yeah.
depending
They-
on the season.
The
Yeah.
season.
What else
Hard.
they got there on the moon pie?
Moon Pie, Nutter Butters.
Nutter Butter. Yeah, but of the Little Debbie, those are about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Those are mainly it.
No, there's a few more.
There's the cinnamon rolls, the honey buns.
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah, I forgot about
honey
that.
buns,
I never get
iced
those.
or non-iced.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, there's different variants.
Yeah. What else is there? There's more.
Oh, sometimes they have the...
cosmic, the ones with the brownies with the little pieces on there that are crunchy.
You're right.
Those are awesome.
Oh, and that's where they have their muffins. They call them muffins, but they're basically like cakes.
Oh, man,
but they got
they're
the
great.
Little Debbie muffins where they're tiny. Like
yeah,
muffins.
I just eat the whole bag at one time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Gone.
Little box.
Yeah.
I was like, again, I don't
They're
buy
so
those.
expensive though. Like those little
those?
muffin ones. Yeah, because you only get like 3 or 4 in that bag. I don't even know why they put them in a bag. It's like
You're right.
You open
Yeah,
up
they do
that
put 'em
bag
in
and
a
it's
bag.
like 3 of them. You're like, what the heck,
I forgot
man?
about that. That's
So
interesting.
delicious.
And then they make the Swiss roll in a strawberry version.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
They got a lot of they got a lot of different variants.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. I don't know why we talked about that. I'm obviously kind of
Little
hungry.
Debbie, yeah.
or
You're a little
going
hungry
out.
over there.
Dude, this is going to be okay. The 50th might break a record here, guys.
Of the most tangents?
Of the most... Adam, I'm glad I'm not editing. So... I'm just realizing that. Yeah. We were talking so long, we were going to get in this big segment about making each other play a game. Do you guys think, because this episode is just, let's end on a high note,
Let's
not on something
just
negative?
do it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just do it right now. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Yeah. It was funny. I was going to say we were going to skip it for next time. Let's
let's
do it
do it.
right now.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Real quick.
Just real quick.
Let's each pick a game for each other to play. We have to play it before the next time. This is a video game waterboarding book club.
All right.
Video game waterboard.
Okay.
Book club.
Who's going first?
I think since Adam, you're so amped, you go first.
All right. I got one for you, Benjamin.
All right. Adam to Benjamin. We got to write these down. Shoot. I'm writing them down.
All right.
Because we'll forget. Or no, we have it on record.
Battle. Actually, no. I'm going to give this one to Shane. I'm going to take this back.
Oh, I don't know if you have a lifeline.
I'm going to
for
give
that.
this to Shane.
Go ahead.
Battle Monsters for the Sega Saturn.
Battle Monsters. I just seen that the other day.
Battle Monsters for Sega Saturn. Japanese version.
Oh God. Okay. I'll have to figure
I
out
think
how to.
maybe there only is a Japanese version. I'm not sure.
I'll have to figure out a way to play that.
I stumbled across this game the other day. And it is deliciously awful.
Whoa. Okay.
And someone else needs to experience it.
All right. Great. You got one for me?
No, that's just mine for Shane. Just one apiece.
Just one apiece.
Is that all we're doing?
Well, yeah,
no,
but
you
then
want to do one
I
for
guess,
more?
or I guess then we're covered. So who's going to get me would have to be okay. Yeah, then you get me and I get you. Okay, Shane, what are you forcing me to play? Be nice. Video game waterboard, and this is just like specifically for me. This isn't for you. This is whatever. Like, look at me and what game are you going to make me play? Just anything. Something I don't want to play.
Let's go.
Something I wouldn't play. Be anything.
What would you not play? Oh, it's got to be something fishing. I'll make you play. Did I make you play? You played Blue Marlin before?
I haven't.
I'll make you play a fishing game. Actually, you know what? Yeah, Blue Marlin. Play Blue Marlin. You might like it. You might like it. You might not. You probably won't like it because you don't like fishing games.
Is that NES?
Yeah, NES.
All right.
Do that.
Nice. You've been easy on
I've been
me.
easy. I was easy
That's
on
a
you.
Hot B game, I think.
Hot B.
Hot B.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
Hot
Hot
B
off
made
the
the
press.
best fishing games back
I was
in the
being
day.
nice to you.
Thank you. This is going to be hard for me because Adam's played a lot of video games, and I feel like there's a few that he hasn't. But I know you've played. Yes or no? Have you played a couple? Beyond Good and Evil.
Yes.
Okay, I knew that already. And you played all the Mutant Leagues.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got a good one.
I don't like the ground on your face.
Well, it's like I'm not going to be super. No, this is perfect. Oh, this is perfect.
No. Can I take my game back? Hold a second. Let me take the game back. I want to take my game. I got one for you.
All right.
Dance Dance Mario. Dance Dance Mario. I want you to play Dance Dance Mario.
I don't have the thing. You're going to have to.
I'll transport it to your home.
Okay. All right.
Boom.
Dance Dance Mario. And for those at home who aren't weird niche, know what that is. It's GameCube, right?
Yeah, it's Dance Dance Revolution with Mario characters.
I call it Dance Dance Mario.
That's a
Whatever.
good one. That's
Yep,
a good one.
I'm gonna
Dance
go
Dance
with that.
Mario. All right. And good
It's
thing I
still
didn't forget
sort of
this.
good.
All right.
Actually, if I'd have been thinking, I might have made one of y'all. Well, never mind. I'll save it for that.
All right. All right. For Adam, this is a forced game. You're going to have to play it. And I'm glad this just popped in my head. Minecraft Adventures.
Oh, I hate you so much right
No,
now.
no. It's adventures. So this is
it's the Telltale game.
It's the Telltale game. So this is forcing you. Now think about this. I did good. It's the game you hate, but you love Telltale. So you are now forced. Like story games, You are now forced to learn the story of Minecraft. This is the greatest segment I ever thought of in my freaking life.
Yeah, that was the greatest pick ever. That was the greatest pick ever.
True.
Minecraft Adventure, but you don't really. If I would have just said plain Minecraft, then I'm just like a total.
Oh man,
a-hole.
my kid will be into it. You know, we'll do it. Yeah.
Minecraft Adventures. All right, and I've got mine.
Nice.
That's a good one for me, and then also a
good
one for
the
Shane.
bad thing is I have it for Wii U.
You have it? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I think it's on Wii U.
It is. It's on PS3.
Yeah, I think it's
All right. Yeah. All right. We're gonna own up to it. We're really gonna.
It'll have to come out of the wrapper.
Yep. We're gonna see how our first video game waterboard does and how we survive. See how long we can hold our breath.
Work up a sweat there, dancing with the Mr. Mario.
I know.
You gotta get your fitness on.
So I think let's bid adieu to number 50. On to the 50 more. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Give us a review if you can. Shout us out. Give the kiddos a hug. Give the significant other a peck and say, "This is from the video game." Yes. Don't say that. Oh God!
No, please don't do that.
Actually, don't do that. It's, that's really creepy.
That's
really creepy. Actually, just go up to the next stranger you see and whisper, "Video game dads." That's better.
Yeah, it's much creepy.
Make
sure you look directly in their eyes when you do it.
Yes, especially get real
close.
No
blinking.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and give him a butterfly kiss on the way out. That's how we say hello. That's the video game dad handshake. It's nice. Anytime you see a fan, you're wearing the same shirt. Anytime you see somebody at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, if you see another video game dad podcast person, go up and give him a butterfly kiss.
A little butterfly kiss.
Jeez, this is what happens. We're at 2 hours and 42 minutes.
It took us 50 episodes to get here.
Yep. That's what you asked for. It's free content.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. All seriousness. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Episode 50. It's in the books.
It's in the books.
In the books.